Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Hey, Mikey, take it away.
Yeah, big show. Let's, guys, get right into it. Today's episode is brought to you by the Home Builders Association Foundation. A home for the holidays. You have a chance to win a new home or a cash prize. Plus, make the wishes come true for a Make-A-Wish kid with a Home for Holidays raffle. Visit homefortheholidays.org to buy your tickets. Terms and conditions apply. We'll dive into topics in 2 minutes. But real quick, how was your guys' weekend? G, happy belated birthday.
Oh, yeah, man. Good.
Happy birthday to Earl on Sunday. He's back tomorrow. So 2 minutes, then we're going to dive in. But good weekends, guys?
Yeah.
Good weekend.
Wife became a citizen.
Oh, really?
Congratulations to Rosie Bush.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
I told her,
Bush.
I told her I was going to prank her. I was going to go in there and be like, you know what? I don't know if I believe with this. I don't know if I believe in this political party. She's like, babe, please do not do that, dear. There's agents. Why would you do that? I was like, I'm just joking.
That's cruel work right there. Yeah. That's not even funny. She probably wakes up at night with nightmares of that.
No, she's super nightmares. So, like, she was like, yo, don't do it. But we went in there, and she gave me a cheat sheet of things that I should know. She was like, now, listen. You do know when we were married, right?
Wait, why were they asking you questions? She's the one becoming the citizen.
Oh, no. You got to go.
You do it as a pair.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They're like, you co-sign her. I need to know if you just didn't have.
They want to make sure the marriage is legit.
Yeah. Like, she was like, yeah, do you tell me the day you guys bought a house? I'm like, dang, to the day? Rosie had it all written down. She was ready to go, though. But I said, don't leave me. You got to give me the cliff notes.
I have no idea what day we bought. Like, I wouldn't know that.
Right.
I wouldn't know that.
They was like, hey, do you owe the one thing?
You don't know the day you were married?
I know the day we were married.
Oh.
Yeah, I know the day we were married.
He had to pause. No, he said the day when you bought a house.
The day we bought a house.
I mean, that's kind of how, you know. Very few people can tell you the day.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
She had.
I know the day I moved into my house.
I could tell you the month.
I can tell you the month and the year. That's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you that. I'm like, it's wild.
Oh, speaking of,
well, congrats.
Do you guys have to celebrate your first date anniversary or the first time that you met? And because I get in trouble for, I finally had to put it in my phone.
We don't even know when that was.
Oh, see,
That's 38 years ago.
Well, it doesn't matter. It don't matter. I have it in my calendar because I got
14th first date
for years.
Wow, bull.
Because she would always like get me a card or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
See,
Actually, I got it wrong. June 24th.
Oh yeah, you really know it. Yeah.
Boom.
I don't know why I said
One other
14th.
thing before we dive in, Bernie this morning, Jay, I saw your shirt and it reminded me, but Bernie had his or is undergoing.
He is in.
Oh man,
yes sir,
yes sir.
Yeah. Right now, so thoughts.
He
prayers,
is expected out between 1 and 3 p.m.
Bless him.
And he went in like 5 a.m. Right? What a surgery!
It's a big deal.
We need all them prayers. We need all them out there for my man, bro.
He's getting them. From Browns Nation has supported him in a major way. And I was texting with one of someone that's with him, has followed everything with him this morning. Talked with Bernie last night, but the timetable was 1 to 3. Now that's obviously flexible. They don't know. With all of these surgeries, it's a guess. But I have a feeling we should know by mid-afternoon at the latest how things went and how things are going. He was as desperate as liver transplant candidates can be.
Yeah, it was bad.
Really close to the end.
But even in text, though, he still had his emoji game going.
Oh, and
right?
His positivity,
guys,
it's
amazing.
Like if I take nothing else from that, this dude, this isn't a 4th and 13 down 5 on the 40.
Yeah.
This is life and death.
Yeah.
And what is crazy to me, in all the conversations that we've had over the last week, the one thing that never wavered with him was that positivity. It's stunning. Yeah. It's absolutely
always there.
Stunning.
He reached out and said, "Hey man, G Bush, man, happy birthday. I'm wishing for you. You're looking good. You're losing weight, man. And you and Rosie, I'm so happy. And she looks happy in her Facebook. I said, bro, what are you?
He's
doing?
on top of everything.
What are you doing?
Well, I'll tell you what he's doing.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
He's got
nothing else to do.
He's
laying in that
captive.
hospital bed.
He can't do anything else. He's really been working social media.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Bernie, we're thinking of you.
Yes, sir.
Love
Yes,
you.
sir.
Prayers up for him, and God willing, he'll come through this.
On a much lighter note, I went and saw the Running Man remake. I mentioned
I
that.
saw the ads for that.
It was awesome.
It looked pretty good.
It was really
Special
good.
effects looked pretty, like it looked like
It was
very
great.
well made.
Great special effects.
In the movie theater?
Yeah, went to the movies. I
We'll
I
talk
took
about it in
Aaron.
overtime.
What's that, Mike?
We'll talk about the movie in overtime because we got
Okay.
some more pressing stuff that we got to
Very good. Let's get to the
Gotta
pressing
get to
stuff.
it.
And we got to do it. It's the most people we've ever had at 11:05 in a show lobby. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Thank you,
Huge
12.
numbers in the post-game show. We're going to have huge numbers today again. And it's because you guys support us on a daily basis. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. This first topic is brought to you by the Home Builders Association. Give big this year with the Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or a cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana since 1983. This year's house is a custom-built ranch by Petros Homes with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 3-car garage. It also includes amazing features like a great room with vaulted ceilings, an unbelievable kitchen, and a mudroom with open lockers and a unique pet shower station. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidays.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidays.org. Terms and conditions apply. Guys, I know everyone's here to hear us break down the Browns special teams unit, how the long snapper Rex Anahara looked in the loss to the Ravens. But no, in all seriousness, Shedeur Sanders made his NFL debut yesterday. He played the entire second half. G. Bush and I jousted in the post-game show last night. So, Bull, we'll start with you, I guess, and we'll go give me your Shedeur thoughts on everything you saw from the Browns' rookie quarterback in his first NFL action.
So, Shedeur Sanders was very exciting to see him get out there. We've wanted to see him play. He gets the opportunity to start the second half because Dillon Gabriel leaves the game with a concussion. He obviously played a half of football, and he played very poorly. There's no objective argument that he didn't play poorly. He made a lot of bad throws. Made a couple good throws, that one completion to Harold Fannin down the field was a nice throw. One of the throws to the end zone that got broken up by the defense was a nice throw. But just judging a half of football, it was bad. It was really bad. There's no other way to put it. I mean, he threw one pick, which was a terrible throw. He threw another one that should have been picked, and he fumbled. And he just missed a few other throws. And the running backwards on the sacks is a problem, and it's something he's going to have to get better at. That being said, I 100% want to see more. What I did like in a sea of dreck from Shedeur Sanders, what I did like is that he was unafraid to throw the ball down the field. And with Dillon Gabriel, we have seen almost no throws down the field in, 5.5 games, I believe it is.
Man,
and Shedeur was unafraid to throw the ball down the field. If he plays this week, and we'll see, I think he probably will because Dillon Gabriel's going to be in concussion protocol. Kevin Stefanski did say that Dillon Gabriel will start if he's healthy, which I think is stupid, but okay. But it'll be good for him to get reps with the first team this week, and that should help him for next week. What I did see is a guy who clearly has a better arm than Dillon Gabriel. I thought had more presence than Dillon Gabriel. He just looks the part more. That being said, he's got a long way to go because what he did on the field for the most part was pretty ugly. But I want to see more. I have no interest in seeing Dillon Gabriel anymore. I'm ready to see Shedeur Sanders going forward, and I hope they will.
There was no conspiracy. There was no sabotage. That was absurd. I said it all year. There is not some agenda to ruin Shedeur's career. He did not play well yesterday, and I'm with Bull. He'll probably start next week in Vegas, and he should. Dillon, I don't know how often, I don't know if ever a quarterback's been cleared or any player's been cleared out of protocol that quickly to get back on the field. So give him a full week of reps, give him a game plan built around him, and see what it looks like in Vegas. Because I told you guys last week, I didn't want to see him against the Ravens. Vegas felt like a better opportunity for him, a worse opponent and a better chance. But everything that you heard throughout the pre-draft process and through all summer long is what you saw yesterday. Holds on to the ball too long, runs out of the back of the pocket, doesn't always know what he's looking at. That's not an agenda against him. That's just where he's at. So I agree, Dillon's never been the long-term answer. No one ever up here has once said Dillon is the franchise quarterback for the Browns for the next 10 years. If anyone has a chance of being it, it's probably Shedeur. So we'll get a chance to see this week because I don't think Dillon will be cleared that quickly. And I don't know how many reps or opportunities he'll get after this week, but he's at least going to get one game. And then, Kevin said he's going back to Dillon. I guess it's the whole you don't lose your spot as a starter for injury unless the other guy just really plays out of his mind. So
but if Shedeur plays well, you can't go back.
You have to revisit. I agree.
Now, if he stinks next week,
I agree.
Then they might go. I wouldn't, but they might go. They probably will go back to him.
Next week is his big chance with a full week of reps,
Yep.
a full week of practice, and a game plan built around him. If he goes out there and plays well,
that's it.
Take off, take 12 and go.
Yeah.
G. Bush?
I thought that was. I thought a lot of what you guys said it was spot on. Like, let's first and foremost, a lot of people done pulled up just to see what G. Bush gonna say today. They like, yo, G. Bush, is you gonna glaze? Is you gonna get in the chat and be doing all kind of mansplaining? No. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's get down to the brass tacks of it. Did Shedeur Sanders play well? No, he didn't play well. Did Shedeur Sanders drift in the pocket? One of the things that I've said that he's going to have to work on is making sure, hey, it's okay to take a sack, but let me get a 4-yard sack. Let me do this. It's okay to take the 4-yard sack. It's okay to take the 6-yard sack rather than the 14. That's something you're going to have to work on, but that's just because, you out here trying to make plays. And sometimes, Sean King said it, you got to live to fight another day. Minimize what it's going to be and make sure that you can get back out there and put your team in another position. But that comes with time. That comes with understanding the game. That comes with preparation and reps. So hopefully those are things that you can see that he minimizes if he gets the opportunity. In terms of some of the things that I did see that were encouraging, one of the things is it was a beautiful throw to Harold Fannin Jr. Over in the middle of the field. It was a ball that had some depth, it had some accuracy, and to throw that football in the last drive shows that the game was slowing down a little bit for him. I thought the throw to Gage Laverdane was a throw that was a beautiful ball. It was a 50-50 play, gave his guy an opportunity. Good play by the defense, but in terms of the ball placement, I liked it. He moved in the pocket a little bit, found some scrambling areas, got the ball to Jerry Jeudy, who made a crazy play. I don't know how he dipped between three.
That was amazing. It was an amazing play.
Oh, he
was
broke 3
like,
tackles.
That was great. Dang,
That's
Jerry.
the best play I've seen him make as a Brown.
He caught that one, and they kept it moving. And so the thing that we talk about is, but I said with Dillon Gabriel, right? The first game that he played with in Minnesota, right? When they made the move to him, I said, listen, here's what I'm going to do. I want to see progression. I'm not going to judge him based on what he does against the Minnesota Vikings today. What I want to see is I want to see today where your mistakes were. Did you minimize them the next week? Did you get better? And what's the progression look like? So that's the same level of critique I'm going to give Shedeur Sanders. It's 2 quarters of football, and he came in the game against the Baltimore Ravens and didn't expect to, not to say he didn't expect to play, but he's the backup quarterback. He didn't get any reps. He didn't understand the game plan wasn't built around him. Now let's see. We saw what it looked like. Let's see what happens during this week. And here's what I'm going to say. This is all you can really ask for in life. Sometimes you get 1 or 2 opportunities and you got to make the best of those opportunities, right? So Dillon Gabriel is on the sideline. Dillon Gabriel had to go through concussion protocol, but the thing is, as Shedeur Sanders, that all you want is an opportunity. And being a guy who's a late round pick, that's a 5th round pick, and somebody's higher than you, you already know where they're leaning. So what you have to do is this week, you have to go out and make a statement. And you're going to have to prove why you should get another opportunity. And then, guess what? You go prove it. And then you got to prove it again. Another opportunity. And I believe Sean King said this thing correctly. He said, if I could give the best advice to Shedeur Sanders, I would tell him, you're not going to win the starting job in 1 throw or 1 half or 1 game. It comes with consistency. It comes with showing people, and it comes with the production. But you have to understand that, this is a prove-it league, and you have to get it done. And if you listen to Shedeur Sanders, I think he's up for the challenge. We're going to get to see. Your name is legendary. Now it's time to do that. So that's all you can ask for, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but we're all in lockstep. I don't know that there's anything that all three of you guys just said that I can disagree with. I think it's all pretty black and white. I love that you brought up Sean King, because as I was watching Shedeur Sanders, there's an excitement that comes when a highly touted or just a big name quarterback finally gets their chance. Mm-hmm. We knew what Johnny Manziel was going to be, but we'll all sit here and lie if we don't tell the truth.
Right.
When he came in, we were all standing up.
What you mean?
We were on our feet.
Yes.
I'll say I was Brady Quinn. Yep. I was on my feet.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. I was at that game. I was on my feet. I was at the first game Bernie Kosar was ever inserted. I was on my feet. There's a level of excitement that comes with that because it's been building in the media and the fan base. You're whispering his name. You want to see it. And that crescendo, when it came out at the end of the halftime and we knew that he was going to play, we were all doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
We were so excited. And
to your point,
I
Jay,
was there.
sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
I just want to back up your point. For the last few weeks, I'm watching the Browns games like this.
Right, it's boring.
And as soon as he came in,
he was excited, wasn't he?
Right?
Are you not entertained?
I had more energy to watch the game.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
So, and the reason I'm glad you brought up Sean King is because I was there the day that happened to Sean King. And I can tell you that Sean King replaced Trent Dilfer. And for those that remember that part of Buccaneers history, that was when they had their legendary Hall of Fame lights out defense, but they had Trent Dilfer. And Trent was just mid, and I'm being nice.
Yeah.
But when Sean King got his chance and came in, it was the same exact feeling. Now, everybody's debut is different. Some of them, most of them, in fact, are unremarkable. Most of them don't stand out one way or the other. They're like, 7 of 18 or 7 of 14 for 100 yards, a pick, a touchdown. Rarely do they move the meter like Baker and our friend Sean moved the meter. And rarely do they move the meter where they're just like an abject, I don't need to see anymore. I don't think Shedeur Sanders, he's closer to that category.
Sure.
But he does not fall into that category.
I agree.
And I think that if every once in a while the football gods do smile on the Browns. And here's why I think they've smiled on us today. It wasn't ideal that he gets put in the game against the Ravens. The Ravens defense, when you say Ravens defense, you think suit of armor. They're not that anymore.
They've been much better the last.
But
They
they're
have
still
been
pretty good.
but they're 26th in the league.
Yeah, but they've been better lately.
They've been better lately. And I thought they were good yesterday,
They played
too.
well, yeah.
And I think they had a huge advantage yesterday because they basically said, oh, this kid doesn't like blitz.
Yeah, let's blitz.
So they brought
everybody.
They brought it, and in the key moments of the game, and you expect that with their defense, that's what they do. But I can't wait for Sunday.
Yeah.
My level of excitement for Sunday is just as high as it was when he ran onto the field for the first time, and here's why. I know a lot has been made about the no reps. What fifth-round rookie quarterback gets reps? How many reps do you think Will Howard's getting in Pittsburgh? Now, granted, he's been hurt, but when these guys, that's the way it goes. Especially when the starting quarterback is a rookie. If our starting quarterback was Joe Flacco, I think the rookies would be splitting a lot of the reps.
By the way, Baker, Mike sent me a link to an article from my friend Pat McMenamin that Baker didn't get any reps.
No.
Any first team
I
reps.
remember when that was going on.
And he was the first overall pick.
I remember when that was going on. There was pretty much a clear cut. You remember because you were around the team a lot.
That was the first year I started hanging, so I wasn't really done.
Okay. I was doing the preseason games, so I was at all the workouts, talking to all the players.
Hugh Jackson was like, congratulations, you're the backup quarterback.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And not only that, I remember a story that happened where, and I gave Hugh a lot of credit for this. You said, in just a casual conversation where they're just standing around. It wasn't like a meeting in his office. He said, "Time did you get in today?"
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yep.
He said, "Go ask Jacoby what time he got here."
Tyrod.
Yeah, Tyrod. I'm sorry, Tyrod. What time did you leave yesterday? Go ask Tyrod what time.
Yeah.
And so there was I love that with you. It's like, you kid, you come here with nothing. You come here with a jersey and a helmet, and you get to go prove it. And I do remember that he wasn't getting reps. He came in the game, and he lit it up. There is a huge difference between Baker and what we saw yesterday. I have been saying since training camp, it doesn't matter who our quarterbacks are, guys. You can't properly evaluate a quarterback when your offensive line is 32nd and your receiving core is 32nd. Now, through the course of 5.5 games, Dillon Gabriel has learned how to navigate those deficiencies. Now, that doesn't mean he's excelled, because I'm yet to get to a point where I look at Dillon Gabriel and say, that was a good game. I haven't seen that from him yet. But when you measure his stats from yesterday, what he's learned is, I've got to throw quick. I can't throw downfield. I don't have time. I've got to throw quick, short, high percentage passes. So yesterday were his best numbers on a small scale. He was 7 of 10, and it looked like he's going to take what the defense gives him. Now, Shedeur comes in. Shedeur's got all the pressure on him. He knows what time it is. He's got an entire culture rooting for him. Not just rooting for him, demanding that he play well. Why? They've put their name on the line for him. They've all stood up and said, and he knows that. And guys, we can't even imagine. One day when Shedeur is through all this, he will speak of the pressure he has felt this year. It's immense. That's football. Everybody feels it. But I can't wait for Sunday.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to get a full week with all the reps. And I do think, Jay, I think you were the one that said it, very unlikely Dillon Gabriel clears protocol. It almost never happens where a guy goes in on a Sunday and he's out by Sunday.
Right.
Plus, you have to. He's a rookie. Dillon's still a rookie. What are you supposed to do all week? You have to prepare a game plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
And you've got to prepare on Monday
Really,
like it's going to be 12.
Really, it's Wednesday. Like he's got, by Wednesday, you start the install.
I know, but like they're already thinking about the Raiders today.
Of course they are. But I'm just saying, like, regardless, 3 days is not enough time.
It's not enough time. I think what this is what I didn't hear from Kevin Stefanski that I really needed to hear yesterday. We're moving forward at 7:45 on Sunday night. That 12 is going to be our guy in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. We owe it to him to give him a week where this is perfect. That's why I say the football gods smiled on us. We're not going to the Detroit Lions. We're not going to the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to the Las Vegas Raiders. They're our equal. They're 2-7. If he's going to have success in the NFL, he's going to have to show that he can do it against a team like this, and he gets a full week to prove it.
This is what anybody can ask for. That's all you get. There's opportunity. It's all you can ask for. Because now, like you said, you get a week. Tommy Reese can link with him. There was a quote that said Wyatt Teller said he only heard his cadence like 2 or 3 times during the whole season. Like he's never heard him call it out of the huddle. In terms of, and I think this is more important because even the protection schemes, like calling out, identifying the linebacker, understanding how Jerry Jeudy comes in and out of breaks, where are we looking to get these guys to football? And even if say for instance he came in the first half, at least they got to script the plays that you usually give somebody 15 or so to get you comfortable.
That he feels comfortable with.
That he's comfortable with. He came in during the freestyle portion where it's like, hey, we need to make adjustments, and now you're the quarterback.
Well, there was one thing that was to his benefit. He didn't come in down 23-10.
Right.
That would have been worse.
Right.
Because then you know what time it is. They were still, I didn't think they gave the ball enough to the running backs. Because and Leroy and I were texting, and we disagreed a little bit on this. He's like, now is not a time to be conservative. And I kind of disagreed with Leroy on that point. You have a 6-point lead. You've got a running head start. You've got a run game that looked like it was doing some things. I thought lean on Judkins, get 4 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down. Then you can keep running it. And for a while they were doing that. But when you put him in situations where you know he's going to throw like he was at the end of the game, you get what you get. You know what's coming.
Right. They ran the ball great that second drive where they ended up with that first field goal.
They did.
And then they couldn't run it much after that. And I even on the broadcast they were saying, like, you can't keep running first and second down because then you're constantly putting him in the third down situation. By the way, a couple of things I liked. I liked that he kind of defended Dillon Gabriel and basically said to the fans, like, don't boo the guy.
Yeah,
it's not helping the team. I thought that was a classy move by Shedeur.
I did too.
I liked that he took the blame after the game. I liked that he spoke to the team. Myles Garrett said he spoke to the team and took the blame. I thought that was good. The only thing I didn't love was that he was sitting on the bench not shaking hands after the game. It's a minor thing, but looked like Lamar Jackson was looking for him, and I think that would have been cool for him to be able to talk to Lamar Jackson. And get
Sure.
advice.
Well, you would have wanted to talk to him.
But the one thing I'll say that I think is the most important in my mind, on that last drive, I thought the Browns had a chance to score.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
did.
Dillon Gabriel were playing, I would not have thought that. Fair or not, that's how it was. I thought they had a chance.
And let's face it, he made throws that could have won that game or tied the game.
Sure.
The throw was a great breakup.
Yeah.
On
Great
the
play.
one. The other one, I think the one that he's going to see over and over and over.
That was not a good throw.
He had a wide open receiver for a game-tying touchdown.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what typically young quarterbacks do on that? Airmail it. His adrenaline was so pumped, and he was on the run, fleeing.
Yeah.
And he, boy, I wish he could have that throw back, because that's what you build confidence on.
Yeah.
Then you can come back the next time and say, "Oh, I can do this in this league. I can do this."
What was just understanding football. I remember, and this is crazy, the first game I ever played, and I started as a redshirt freshman. We were playing West Virginia, and I'm like, "Oh, this is nothing. This is light work." The first game I played, I was just like out there, and then I just realized how fast other people were moving. Like the linemen were moving so fast that I felt like I was not getting out of my stance in time before they were already on me. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to figure out, because I got redshirted. So I hadn't played in a year. So it was tough to get understood of what the speed of the game was. And it has to be night and day with quarterbacks. Like the fact that he played against the Baltimore Ravens and Kyle Hamilton and the way they've been playing and the way they put everybody at the line of scrimmage, that's the hardest thing to do with as a rookie. So I ain't giving
now imagine the jump from college to the NFL.
To the NFL.
Like
for him,
you went from high-level high school to West Virginia, and your head was spinning. Now imagine going from West Virginia to the Baltimore Ravens.
And you got it in halftime, and you come in cold. But here's the thing. I was encouraged by the fact that I felt like he's getting his footing a little bit. He started to move in the pocket. He didn't drift as much. He even made a couple of plays to extend and kind of get some yards. But I was encouraged by some of the throws and some of the things he was doing. And I said, okay, well, if you can do that for me and you ain't got no first-team reps, I'm interested this week to see what it looks like when it's put around him and to see what we got. Because all you can ask for, anybody that's supporting Shedeur Sanders or want to see the Browns got a quarterback, the only thing you can be asked for is the opportunity. So I'm not going to be like, oh my goodness, I got to give him 10 more weeks. Would I give him the rest of the season? Sure I would, but that's me. But the way life work is, let's go prove it. Right? Let's go. Yeah. And if he can come out here and play well and he can stick on the football field, you're going to earn a lot of people's respect, because you're going to say, here you go. He got the opportunity and took advantage.
Bull made a strong point when you said, and I don't think you can disagree with this, if you just forget the results, you just watch the two. And I'm not saying that Dillon can't be an NFL quarterback. I'm just saying he's got to overcome a lot of things to get there. One, I think the fact that he's left-handed is a disadvantage. The fact that he's height challenged is a disadvantage. The fact that he doesn't have a strong arm is a disadvantage. If you didn't look at where the throws went and the only thing that looked out of place to me, and Leroy was making this point as I was making it in my living room, and he'll learn this, he can't do the retreat to the other end zone. He can't do that. He did it in high school and got away with it. And then he went to small level college and got away with it. And then he went to big-time college, and he really didn't get away with it at Colorado.
Well, he did sometimes.
Well, he got sacked a ton.
Yeah.
He got sacked a ton, and a lot of the sacks he ran into. In the NFL, every single guy that's put their hand in the dirt on that line will run you down if you decide to run the other way. He does have a nifty little spin move that he used a couple times in the preseason. He used it once yesterday to get away. I like that move. I like that ability. He does have some escapability. He doesn't have great speed. And he's going to learn by watching the tape this week and having it drilled into his head over and over again. If you're going to take a sack, take a 5-yard sack. Take a 7-yard sack.
Throw it away.
You can't take it. Throw it away.
Throw it away.
You can't take a 13-yard sack.
And there's 3 things with that. First and foremost, once you're the starting quarterback, we talked about the Browns didn't have an emergency quarterback yesterday, right?
Yeah, what would have happened?
They didn't have an emergency quarterback.
Myles Garrett.
So you have to think it's almost like the quarterback is like being a starting pitcher. You have to realize that you have to do some game management yourself, and you have to say, listen, I want to make this play, but we ain't got nobody behind us. I'm the starting quarterback. I got to put myself in position so I can make it through this football game. Also, hey, if I'm going to take a bad play, let me step up in the pocket and take that sack, right? Let me step up and take that sack, right? Or if you are going to try to escape, let me escape to see where I can put the football and throw the ball out. He threw the ball away, but there was no receiver on the opposite end of the football field. So these are all things that he's going to have to deal with. And here's the thing, too, man. Like I told people all the time, I've been clear about this. I've been consistent. I said, this is the thing. Everything that is on the football field with Dillon Gabriel and Joe Flacco and all the other people, they still had the offensive line. They still had the same receivers. They still had the limitations with the playbook. You have to figure out how you're going to go about and maximize your utility. Mm-hmm. So you just can't say, well, the offensive, we know that. Offensive line is trash. You ain't getting no new offensive lineman. How you get through it? Let's get through it. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of that relies on the coach.
Yes, it does.
And the coaching staff to know what your deficiencies are. That's why I do think Dillon Gabriel's numbers are so pedestrian. You're crazy if you try to throw the ball downfield in this offense. You just it's not
but
smart.
You have to do it once in a while.
Well, I get that you do.
You have to.
And I want to see it. I'm with you. But to think that this team can drop a quarterback back on a 5 or 7 step drop and look downfield is insane.
Well, I've said that all year.
Right. Well, I've said it going back to training camp.
But no one wanted to listen before.
No, listen, I've been in lockstep with you.
I said all year.
I said you
the
drafted
receivers
2 rookie
suck.
quarterbacks.
The line sucks. What offense do you want to run?
100%.
There is no offense you can run with this talent.
And that's why.
But you have to throw the ball deep once in a while, not all the time.
I think the reason, when you put the whole puzzle together, I did not like that they drafted 2 quarterbacks. I was definitely in the minority on that.
I did not like that they traded 2 veterans.
That's
that's
in
insane.
This situation. If you had 1 veteran,
I didn't love signing.
You'd be okay.
I didn't love signing Flacco. I told, why are you signing a 4-year-old quarterback? But you got to have some sort of veteran presence in that room. When they traded Pickett and then they traded Flacco,
now
it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was just all of the moves they made in the time they made them felt like, what are they doing? Bringing Flacco and Pickett in and drafting 2 quarterbacks and then letting both of the veteran quarterbacks go.
They are building the plane while they fly it.
It's exactly what they're doing.
And they keep crashing it.
And there's no plan.
Pull it off the ground again.
That's exactly it. And you can't build the plane in the air. You can't do that. And that's what they're trying to do. It's painfully obvious at this point that this team is I think they're worse than we thought they were going to be. I think everybody would agree with that. The offensive line.
The offense is. The defense is better than I thought.
Have you guys, in your time of watching the Browns, have you ever seen a worse offensive line than the one we have right now? Maybe except the franchise. Yeah, the expansion franchise year. You know, you were picking everybody's worst 5 or 6 players.
Go look at Tim Couch's medical file.
Yeah,
and then see.
But I'm talking about when they were an established franchise. What they did.
Mike, where are the Browns graded in PFF in terms of team offensive line?
They've got to be.
I mean, they're low. I'll get
gotta
you
be
the
last.
number in a sec.
I don't know that they got to be last.
There's
a lot of bad offensive line play.
The thing that's alarming.
There are plays where I watch. I'm like, what are they doing?
The alarming thing up front is, it happens, and I've been doing film breakdowns the entire time, and I pointed out that they just don't seem to understand their assignments. They don't know who they're blocking. If they're sliding protection one way or man in the backside up, it's like there's guys coming free. I don't know how they're counting it up. There's guys that, obviously you're never supposed to let the closest guy to the quarterback free in terms of a blitzing situation, and they let A-gap rushers. You can never have A-gap rushers come free. Make the guy take the path that's the furthest outside, which is an edge rusher, but it seems like they don't have. There was a play in this game where the interception happened. They turned the A-gap guy loose, and it's like Ethan Pochich has his shoulders turned. If you step this way and there's nobody here, you know that there's somebody coming backside. So he's 2-3 counts late, but it's just the offensive line play. It is what it is. It's up to Tommy Rees. It's up to the quarterback to figure out, okay, how do we mitigate some of this, and how do we find some place somewhere?
Yes.
So I got the offensive line grades. Bo, this is before yesterday's game because not all the games have been played. So this is up through week 10.
Yeah.
They're the lowest graded offensive line on PFF. the third lowest on the SIS score, and according to ESPN, they are tied for the 5th worst offensive line in terms of pass blocking and protection. So
bad
one
across
of
the board.
one of the worst. Just depends on how bad you want to categorize it.
Yeah, it's even in, like I said, minus the '99 season, even the next season, like it was a franchise expansion team, and because of what happened in the NFL when Carolina and Jacksonville came in, and within a few years were in a championship game, both of them, the league decided, well, we overcompensated, and so they stuck it to the Browns. They changed the expansion draft rules. There was no talent available.
Yeah.
And they overdid it. And that was the worst offensive line that I've ever seen. But this one is right there with them.
It's hard to believe there are worse offensive teams. The Titans have scored less points. I think
the Raiders have scored less points.
The Raiders and maybe the Saints too, which
the Saints offense is
like
challenging.
It's really bad.
What's crazy is what Miami has done since we beat them.
Wow.
And what we've
they've
done
played much better
since we beat them. It's both teams have gone in the complete opposite directions.
Let me do a read and toss it right back out to you guys. I got a kind of spin-off question to what we've already discussed. But if you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no at Mint Mobile. Their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with the high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. If you're ready to say yes to saying no, make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. That is mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. Jason, after the game yesterday, Kevin Stefanski said if Dillon clears concussion protocol, he is the starter. At this point, knowing what we have seen from Dillon Gabriel through 5.5 games and from Shedeur in just half a game, is it a surefire decision? Kevin Stefanski may say that there'd be no discussion about it. Do you agree with Kevin Stefanski that it should be a no-fire decision, or do you think Shedeur showed you guys enough in his half that he should be the starting quarterback moving forward?
Shedeur showed nothing that he should be the starter moving forward, but that still doesn't change my mind. You got to see him. You've already broken the seal. They didn't want to play him this year, but that's out the window. So now he's out there. So you can't put it back in the tube now. You might as well leave him out there. And again, I think he will play next week because of the situation with Dillon. So it's kind of a moot point. So take another look at him and see when you build everything around him. The thing with Shedeur, he's at his best when the play breaks down. Do we agree on that?
Well, as long as he doesn't retreat the other way, yes.
When he can spin out of the pocket.
And quite frankly, I think Dillon's at his worst. Dillon just folds.
So
down he goes.
So how do you build on the fact that when he's on the move and directing traffic, like
get him out of the pocket?
When he told Isaiah Bond go,
yep,
he looked comfortable in the moment.
I agree.
And then he overshot him. The Larvadain throw, I thought that was the best throw of the day.
It was.
The Fannin throw was fine. It was that was the standard NFL throw. He had a clean pocket. He had time. He stepped in the throw. Fannin was wide open in the middle of the field.
They did a great job blocking for him on that play.
It was a good. I don't want to take away. It was a good throw. That was a standard NFL play. We see that play 100 times over.
But he made it.
But the Larvadain throw I thought was a really good throw. Like
best of the day.
It's in coverage into the corner of the end zone, and he gave his guy a chance to make a play, and the defensive back made a better play. So congratulations to you.
Tip your cap.
You did your job,
Yeah.
but he put the ball where it needed to be. But again, that was kind of a rollout. Play breaks down. So how do you incorporate that within structure? I don't know the answer to that.
Well, boots, get him out of the pocket, right? You want him. You don't want him. I just think you have to get him on the move.
We talked early in Dillon's start about the guardrails, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned that in the Minnesota game. They kept the guardrails up, kept everything simple for him. You have to do that again with Shedeur. It's his first NFL start. It's on the road. Of course he's going to be nervous. Yes, he got some of the jitters out of him yesterday, but he's going to be nervous and amped up and ready to go. So how do you keep the guardrails up on him, and how do you put him in position to succeed on an offense where the receivers are horrendous, where the tackles are awful, where there's just not a lot to work with? I don't have the answer. I've said all year, I don't know what you're supposed to run with this offense.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you have to find a way to get him comfortable when he's on the move, because when he bails out of the back of the pocket, disaster strikes. We've all seen that.
Can't do that.
And when teams pressure him, when they blitz, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the protection's not going to hold.
Right.
And the Raiders do have a top flight
they've
pass
got
rusher.
an elite pass rusher.
Where are
scary.
your quick options? What are your release valves? What are we doing? Because look, you bring up a good point. They about to blitz. The Raiders, I don't know how much they blitz, but trust me, next week if he play, everybody gonna be at that line of scrimmage. So they could prepare for it now. But I do think that you raise a good point. You say, did Shedeur do enough to take the quarterback one job from Dillon Gabriel? No, he didn't do enough. It's not about doing enough or that he came out there and was dynamite and they had to. This is about the evaluation. You put him out there, he played, you saw some good things, you saw some bad things. Now, let's actually get a real evaluation. And the real evaluation comes from reps, practice, getting used to different things, understanding the game plan, watching tape, being with Tommy Rees entire week, putting together a first 15 script, understanding, trying to go over the film, what they're going to do to you, and then seeing what we can do against the Raiders. It's the first start, so it's going to be an opportunity for him to finally be in a system where, hey, we're depending on you to get certain things done. And if you can get Jerry Jeudy, if y'all can get that Jerry Jeudy that caught that football in the fourth quarter, I'll take that. If I could get, Gage Larvadan, if he can ever, somebody could pull that down in the corner of the end zone, I'll take that. If I could get Quinshawn Judkins, because, by the way, we underselling. There was 3 or 4 plays Judkins turned no yards into 6. There was 2 or 3 plays, there was guys in the backfield. He turned them plays into basically opportunities to keep the sticks moving. And then the biggest thing is you get an opportunity right now, if you look at it from his perspective and you look at what's going on with the offense versus defense. If you want to play Shedeur Sanders, it's the best opportune time because look at the way that defense is playing. Myles Garrett and Carson Schlesinger is playing. Oh, my God. Guess what? You're going to get him an opportunity. They kept you in that football game, and did you see how Lamar Jackson was looking? He was like, listen, these dudes is out here lights out. So you give yourself an opportunity, keep the guard where all you need is 2 or 3 plays. Get you 2 or 3 plays, and you might have you something.
The Raiders blitz 19.8% of the time. That is 21st in the league, so not a huge blitz.
That's going up. That'll go up
38%.
That's going up. The answer to the question is obvious, but they both got it right. I don't think Jason's answered it yet. No, he didn't do enough. If you put the split screen graphic up again, that's painfully obvious. If this were reversed and the Browns were, and they're not, but let's just say they were still alive. Let's say they were 5-4, 5-5. Then of course you've got to go back to Dillon Gabriel. But this season, as Jay has pointed out, since July, is not about winning. It's about evaluating, seeing what you have. And there is no sane argument that I can think of why you would put a healthy Dillon Gabriel back in the game. I just can't make that argument right now.
Their argument would be they believe he gives them the best chance to win.
But what is okay? So now you're 3.
But I'm with you.
Now you're 3-8.
I'm with you.
Like
you got to figure out what you have in Shedeur.
That's the rest of this season is simply the whole season has been about.
I mean, it's been a death march.
Exploratory season.
It's been a death march since week 1.
Since the
draft. Miserable season.
Like you've got to look at what these 2 quarterbacks have. If you go back to Dillon Gabriel and he shows moderate growth week to week. Which it looked like, he was playing okay, not lights out by any stretch of the imagination, but he wasn't throwing picks. He was 70% on his completion. That's fine. But by no means is he tearing it up. And if you still had a chance, and in this division, by the way, anybody but the Browns really has a chance.
Well, the Bengals don't.
Well, the Bengals are, my God, the Bengals, holy cow. Yeah. If there ever was a time for the Browns to be at the top of the talent cycle, this year is the year. But it's not going to happen. So I don't care about seeing more of Dillon Gabriel. I've seen enough. I know what he is. Now, would I like to see him with weapons? I'd love to see that, but we don't have that. So now I have to see, okay, is there anything there worth saving with Shedeur Sanders?
And it's so hard to know that because of the talent around him.
You can't evaluate
with
it.
both of these guys.
You can evaluate. Yes, you can
little bit.
You can always evaluate. You take these things into account. Here's the thing. Did Shedeur Sanders play well enough he earn the job? That's a ludicrous question.
No.
Of course he didn't. But the facts are the Browns have not had a quarterback play well enough to keep the job since Jameis Winston threw for 500 yards against the Broncos the first week of December last year.
And he eventually lost the job.
Yeah, and he did throw 3 picks in that game, but he threw 4 touchdowns. Like, there's not been a single game this year where you're like, the quarterback was awesome. Not one. Not Flacco, not Gabriel, and not 10 seconds of Shedeur Sanders. You used the word crazy. The Browns organization is crazy.
They are.
And I think this conversation is the number one reason why everybody has to be fired. And then I get it. The first thing Jason's going to say, and he's right, is, well, Jimmy Haslam's still here. Well, we can't fire Jimmy Haslam. If I could fire anybody, it would be Jimmy Haslam. Unfortunately, we can't fire Jimmy Haslam. So the next hope is that he fires everybody, and we just get lucky that he makes a good hire. The fact that this organization, and I'm putting Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry together. To me, they're in the same boat. There's no way I'm keeping one and getting rid of the other. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. They're together. They're on the same page. They're a team, okay? They have we keep saying, what are they supposed to do? They put this offense together. This is the offense that they put together. 6 years. Kevin Stefanski has never won a playoff game. Never. I don't care about the Steeler game. He wasn't there. He didn't coach it. He wasn't there. Don't tell me it's on his record. I don't give a rat's duty.
Yeah, we had more inexcusable pre-snap penalties yesterday.
Yeah, the Ravens were pulling some Browns-esque moves.
They were.
But the idea that we would play Dillon Gabriel is ludicrous. The idea that Kevin Stefanski would think he gives him the best chance to win is just more proof that he should be fired.
Did you see Shedeur yesterday?
Jason, it's irrelevant. Neither guy. Don't tell me Shedeur has a worse chance than Dillon Gabriel.
They are a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick. The odds of them succeeding.
They decided
surrounded by bad talent.
That's what they decided to do.
So what quarterback should they have taken last year?
I don't know.
That's the point.
It's not my job. My job is not to get the quarterback.
Show me the quarterback that's playing well out of this draft that they were supposed to draft.
Jackson Dart was the closest thing.
Dart's been decent.
He's been. How many times has he been concussed?
Too many.
4?
Yeah,
Dart's been okay. What I'm saying is
it's not this year. It's been 6 years. They've gotten it wrong every time.
They had the second pick in a one-quarterback draft. So show me the quarterback.
I don't know that it's a one-quarterback draft.
So far it has. I mean, Cam's not even been good.
Zero quarterback.
Cam's not been good either.
It was a terrible draft for quarterbacks. It was a terrible time to have your franchise quarterback burn down the house. So now you got to shovel up the debris.
So
you want to fire him? Fire him. I'm not arguing that. Fire him.
It's not 1 year.
No, but it is.
It's 6 years.
The Deshaun thing unraveled last year. That's when it unraveled, was last year. This was their chance, their first chance to try and fix it. Yeah. They have no cap space, and it was a terrible quarterback draft.
Again, it's their fault as a team. They put themselves in this situation.
In a vacuum, we can look at a lot of different things, but here's what you got to take into consideration. Those were the individuals who made the decision. It wasn't us. The audience is split on Baker Mayfield. They made the decision that he wasn't it.
By the way, Baker's been low-key not good for a month now.
I
jinxed him by trading for him.
I know, in your legacy league, I
don't want to get
running back and his receivers.
Hold on. I don't want to
running back.
I don't want to get sidetracked
about Tampa.
No. I don't want to get it sidetracked.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So when you make that type of decision again with the number 1 pick, and you have to make a decision, and you didn't want to give him a certain figure of numbers, and you played him when he was hurt, then he moved. Once you made that move, you put yourself in a place of desperation because you had a ready-made football team ready to go. Then you had to go after somebody to get it to man the ship. They went after Deshaun Watson. They made that choice. That didn't work. All right? So when that didn't work and you figured it out, now what we're going to do is say, okay, let's take a look at DTR. That didn't work. Let's bring Flacco in for a little bit. They made the decision that Flacco was not the guy and moved on from him, didn't offer him a contract. Deshaun came back, that didn't work. Now you look at a situation where you're like, okay, let's go ahead and figure out what we got here. We got a quarterback class. We may not like anybody, but you did pass on Jackson Dart, and you did make the evaluation that Dillon Gabriel was the quarterback that you want. Kevin Stefanski stood on that. You also drafted Shedeur Sanders. My thing is this. Yes, we can look at it today and say, you know what? They had some bad things happen. But at every step, Bull is correct. They are the ones who made the decision to put these people together. And you have to stand by your decision. You did it. Nobody picked the players for them. They had the picks. They made the decision to trade down and to stockpile the defense. And they've missed on a lot of guys offensively. So I can't say right now, like, oh, goodness, that is it all their fault? No, you had to. But development is key. These other teams are developing. And I don't trust, and nobody can say they trust Kevin Stefanski to get another first-round lottery ticket and say, go find a quarterback.
Had they not drafted a quarterback at all in this draft, everyone would be killing them. You don't have a quarterback. Take a chance. How can you not take a chance? Pick somebody.
They took 2 chances
in
a bad quarterback draft.
But that's what. But it's a no-win situation because you take 2 quarterbacks, and now we're killing them for taking 2 quarterbacks because they stink. But if they don't take any quarterbacks, everyone would have killed them for they don't have a quarterback on the roster. They don't have a franchise quarterback. You have to take a shot. Take somebody. Take a chance. So which is it? It's
you can't go get a free agent. You couldn't be in the Sam Darnold sweepstakes.
There's no quarterback. Yeah, who else? You want Tyler Shough? He sucks.
He's played 1 game.
Okay, there is no quarterback.
We don't know that he
sucks.
There
was no quarterback in this draft.
How much has Tyler Shough played, Mike?
No, literally just the 1 game he played.
He's played 1 game. You don't know he sucks.
Okay, fine. Then they should have taken Tyler Shough
I'm
instead
not
of.
You're saying who they should have taken.
I'm telling you, there was no quarterback to take. That's what I'm telling you. None of these guys have played great.
Then why take Dillon Gabriel? He's clearly not an NFL quarterback.
They threw the dart. No, he's
not. That's ridiculous. There were better dart throws.
Yeah, there were, and then we would have killed him for not taking a quarterback.
Can I?
Yes, better dart throws at quarterback.
Can I ask you a question? Why did they take? They took the flyer on Pickett and then didn't even play.
I have no idea.
Good question.
That's a great question.
They clearly made a 180-degree pivot.
They should have kept the veterans. They should have at least kept 1 veteran. So you're telling me they should have taken Shough instead of Carson Schwarzenegger?
I don't know who they should have taken.
But that's what you're saying.
The point, first of all, I personally, yes, you're right. Other people would have killed him if they hadn't taken a quarterback somewhere along the line. I wouldn't have because I assume a quarterback taken 3rd round later is going to suck. So, for the most part. So, I wouldn't have killed him for that personally, but you're right. A lot of people would have. Okay? You're writing off all these other quarterbacks who I don't think are any good, but they haven't played, like Dillon Gabriel. What could they have possibly seen in this guy?
I have no idea. We've said I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
Cam Ward was the best of the bunch, and he has played, and he's been abysmal.
Terrible. So
I don't want Cam Ward play.
So if you wanted Tyler Shough, then you better have taken him instead of Carson Schwarzenegger or Quinshon Judkins.
By the way,
he went in the 2nd round.
Shough has played a little more than I give him credit for. He has played 2 games. He's got 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 586 yards, completing 60% of his passes.
You know what? That's not awful.
I mean, it's
586 yards in 2 games.
Then take Schwarzenegger off this team. They should have taken Tyler. They should have taken Shough.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been happy with that.
I mean, that's what.
I wouldn't have been happy with
it was a bad quarterback draft.
Yeah. And Shough went 40th, so Jason's right. You didn't have a chance after Judkins and Schlesinger to get Shough if you wanted to.
Well, you wouldn't have known what Schlesinger was.
You could have got Jackson Dart.
I will say this: we talk about players and we talk about who the quarterback is. I think we do a much too much ado about certain things like that because you're not a finished product when you come into the league. You're not he's good or no, he's bad. It is up to the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, and your head football coach to develop these guys. And we can all agree, I don't think the development plan that they put in front of these 2 guys is abysmal.
Yes.
Like the fact that you have 4 quarterbacks, you said it was a competition, you didn't, put it to you like this, case in point, Shedeur Sanders, right? This is the thing where you talk about why guys don't set up people for success. In the preseason against the Rams, Shedeur Sanders was running backwards. He got sacked 5 times or whatever the case may be. They get the football, they're able to go downfield, and they got an opportunity for him to come in and do a game-winning drive or try to get his team downfield. They inexplicably take him out because they said they don't want to hurt his confidence. He was playing poorly. We wanted to protect him. Listen, guys, that's the craziest thing
How
I've ever
valuable
heard.
would those reps have been?
Did the
yesterday?
Browns
Thank
actually-
you.
Did the Browns
Thank
actually
you.
say that, or are we speculating that was why they
No,
did
they didn't say that. They said they wanted to look at a quarterback that had 0% chance
Right,
to
that
make
was
this
stupid.
team.
And
That's
so-
why it was stupid.
And so look, now you're in a position. He's the backup quarterback, and as the head coach, your job is not to get one person ready. It's to put your team in the best position for everyone. If you leave him in the Rams game, you let him sink or swim. It's a preseason game. It don't count. Guess what? He could have leaned on that against the Ravens this game.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, you're right with your main point is. Why were you going to give those reps to a player that you knew was not going to be on your team?
That was
you knew
crazy.
he was just a placeholder.
Yeah,
that's
stupid.
why that move was stupid. I think what we all kind of inferred, and maybe it's our mistake. I don't think the Browns ever publicly said this, but we had watched what he had done in the Rams game.
Yeah, it was
It
bad.
was abysmal.
Okay.
And I do think that if they would have quietly told someone, we got to get him out of here, we're going to wreck this kid, I would have been okay with that. But I do think, to G's point, look how valuable those reps would have been yesterday. Shedeur is this. Shedeur loves the big moment. He loves that. You could tell the stage was not too big for him yesterday. He looked the part. You said this earlier. To me, he moved and looked like an NFL quarterback. The results weren't there, but he's a confident, bigger, stronger arm quarterback with a different skill set than Dillon Gabriel has. I would have liked to see maybe in that last minute drive a chance to make a drive and win the game. Maybe he would have shown you something that sometimes quarterbacks only get a chance to show in that moment.
Those moments.
He had been bad. Give him a chance to work his way out of it.
Especially if you know you're not gonna give him the rest during the season.
Who was the quarterback that they had brought in? It was one of the guys.
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, well,
For
what
what?
are they doing giving
that
that
was
guy?
stupid.
That was
By the way,
dumb.
Huntley's on the Ravens now, so
Yeah.
Like he's doing commercials about the backup.
By the way,
Yeah, the progressive commercials is a backup. You're right.
I don't know about you guys.
A lot of Browns quarterbacks.
I'm
Super
curious
right.
to you guys, because I'll tell the truth. Like, when the Browns were winning 16-13 and the Ravens had the ball, I wanted them to score because I wanted Shedeur to have that chance.
You know, it's
I
kind of.
did. I wanted us
I
to
know
win the
you wanted
game.
to
I
win,
wanted to
but-
win the game.
In my
Yeah.
mind, I thought to myself, I said, they just need one play. All you need
Yeah.
is one. They could have put the Ravens away because the way the defense was playing, I'm saying to myself, if you even get 3 here, if we can move the ball down the field, get something going, we can put them out
No,
of
I'm
their
saying
mess.
when the Ravens
No,
had the
I
ball.
know what you're. Yeah,
Yes.
I wanted them to not score
Right,
because
I get
I wanted
it.
to
I
win the
get
game.
it.
But
But
and look,
I wanted to see it,
Shedeur
though.
still could have taken over and added a touchdown onto the 16-13 and put the game away.
Right.
So we were going to get to see him in a somewhat pressure cooker situation. What I didn't want to have to do is see him down 23-16, which ultimately was
Sure.
the reality.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see that because now it's do or die. And you
Yeah.
know what? He damn near came through. He made a throw that was worthy enough to tie that game. To Jay's point, it was a great throw by Shedeur. Would a better receiver been able to go get it and hold on to it? Maybe. But the defensive back, tip your cap, man.
Made a
That
great
was
play.
a hell of a play. But he made the play that could have tied the game.
I'm interested in seeing Tommy Rees. We take in consideration this is Tommy Rees' second game calling plays, right? He called 1 week for Dillon Gabriel. That was a completely different game plan. Now it's time to pivot. It's a completely different game plan for Shedeur Sanders. And if he gets the opportunity and it works, I'm interested to see what Tommy Rees cooks up. Because I do believe it was evident there's a different level of skill set. There's a different level of arm talent. And he can make plays out of structure. Now I want to see how you develop that. I want to see more of Malachi Corley. I want to see more of guys like that. And I want to see, and one thing I did like is when Shedeur did go into a football game, he was on the sidelines telling the guys, hey, listen, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. Hey, let's get to this. I think push gun to shove, if you give him some advice, hey, get Jerry Jeudy involved because Jerry Jeudy is the only guy who has the ability.
And the tight end.
And David, and the throw to David Njoku over the middle for 8 yards. Where he
throw?
went through his progression. I think they did a good job on TV showing him go through his progression with his eyes and then come back to the last one with David Njoku. And David Njoku got up shaking his shoulders, shrugging his shoulders a little bit. I think that if you get these footballs to the playmakers, and they start to see that if I run my route hard, if I can catch the football, that ball is going to come to me like a point guard running the fast break.
Now, the truth is some of the sacks are on him. That's been the case in college, too.
They were.
And if he doesn't find a way to fix this problem...
Did you read the Cleve TA?
I did
just
see
sent
that.
to us. What do you make of that? It's convoluted.
Yeah, but it's such a small sample
Yeah,
size.
I know. Cleve TA, who we love, always finds incredible trends and stats.
Yeah.
My thing was, too, well, a lot of that was the preseason.
Yeah.
But essentially, he says that including preseason, Shedeur has dropped back 59 times, 7 quarters, 20 drives. He's taken 9 sacks on 31 pressures. That's a 52.5% pressure rate, an insane 29% sack to pressure rate. For perspective, Cam Ward leads the NFL with a 28.7 sack to pressure rate. Sanders' sack percentage is 15.2. Lamar leads the NFL at 11.8.
Right, so it'd be the worst. But to me,
it's
way too small sample size.
You know what?
It's a small sample size, but it reinforces everything that you would.
Yeah, it does. So far,
the
small sample size has matched up with the scouting report.
And if he ultimately doesn't correct that,
then it's a career.
He's never going to make it in the NFL.
Yes, but
however, what I see, and the reason I'm arguing with Jason is because I've heard a lot of people say, "Well, now you know why he didn't play. Now you know why he didn't play." Okay, clearly he's not ready to be a good quarterback right at this. He wasn't ready last night to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Right. But here's the thing. Dillon Gabriel, and I'm making sweeping judgments. It may be unfair, but this is my opinion, so I'll stick with it. If we find out I'm wrong, then as always, I will admit I'm wrong. There is nothing in the game of Dillon Gabriel that anybody saw in college or that anybody has seen with the Browns that makes you think he could be anything in the NFL.
No, but all that being said, at no point has he looked as bad as Shedeur did in the second half.
I don't agree with that. Not yesterday. He didn't look as bad as Shedeur did yesterday.
No, I'm saying at any point in since he's become the quarterback.
I don't agree.
I mean,
there was one game where he should have had 4 picks.
His QBR was 3.8, Shedeur.
I hear you. I mean, it was a half of football. I don't care about his QBR.
Look, Dillon has not looked good.
Yeah,
you're not gonna lose an argument with me on that. He hasn't looked good. He's been awful. But at no point has he been 4 for 16 with 3 sacks, a pick, and an intentional grounding?
Statistically, yes. He was worse than Dillon was ever.
Yeah,
I think the game. What was the game where Dillon there was 4 picks he should have thrown? Which game was that?
It was the Pittsburgh game.
Okay, I thought he was just as bad as Shedeur was.
Okay, but watch this. Yeah, maybe.
But it doesn't matter. And here's why it doesn't matter, and why I would 100% play Shedeur Sanders going forward, because there's it may be small. If you ask me, is Shedeur Sanders going to be a great quarterback in the NFL? I'm going to tell you no. I don't think he is.
Right.
But I think Shedeur Sanders has a chance, and there's no chance with Gabriel. And that's the only reason. That's the reason I play Shedeur. And
how many fans were there yesterday? You were there, right?
Half.
So about 40, 35?
It's about half full.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
It was more than I was expecting.
I thought there'd be about 25 to 30 with the weather and where we are in the season and what tickets we're going for.
And to your again, the way that they botched this, they had 2 veterans on the roster, and the moment they took Dillon, we can say now there ain't nothing there, and we thought at the time.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. There's nothing there. Why they spend a top 100 pick on a backup quarterback, I'm not going to define
fireable
that.
offense.
I have no idea why they did that. But at the time when they left the draft that night, when they drove home in their cars that night, they had 2 veteran quarterbacks and a 3rd-round project quarterback that they could bring along slowly and develop because they had 2 veterans in front of them, and they would probably revisit quarterback in the draft again next year. That was the plan when they left Berea. And then somebody slept on it overnight, and suddenly Shedeur was brought in the next day, was drafted the next day, and that was the grenade in the room. And now all the veterans are gone, and you're stuck with both of these rookies, neither one of which have looked great to this point, and you got half the season left you got to get through. It doesn't make any sense the way that they've handled
all
the quarterback
true,
room.
but the original plan was a bad plan anyway, in my opinion.
Well, you had 2 veterans and a rookie that you liked.
You know what makes an original bad plan even worse? When you blow it up midway through and try to go into a different direction.
You didn't even believe in your own plan.
So now you've got 4 quarterbacks at camp. You've got dueling pianos on 2 fields. And then you sweep out the veterans that you gave the reps. None of this, that's what I said. They've been flying the plane. They've been building the plane while they fly it, and they keep crashing it, and they keep picking it up off the ground, and then they crash it again. It is nonsensical the way that they've handled the quarterbacks from the time that they drafted Shedeur to trading both of these veterans, none of it makes sense.
I wonder, we won't know, we'll never know, like who really was behind the let's go get 2 veterans. Let's draft 2 rookies. Let's release 2 veterans. Like, I know that we all say, well, hey, they're in lockstep. Somebody was driving the bus on those decisions.
There was no great demand for Joe Flacco. He was a free agent for a month.
There wasn't.
He sat out there for a month in free agency. It's not like he was the primary target. He wasn't.
No, he was what they had left to choose from.
So
they couldn't be in the Sam Darnold. The salary cap all goes back to the Deshaun Watson thing. By the way, any whispers about Deshaun Watson? Perhaps
I haven't
Stefanski
heard.
shut it down as definitively as he could last year.
I mean, the owner.
Yeah, I thought so too.
The owner has twice now come out and said this was a mistake. How can you put him back on the field?
I know.
I listen. I think I think there. I said this about a month ago. I knew that it was trouble in paradise the moment that Joe Flacco was traded because Kevin Stefanski, at least during that process, had a backup plan. If Dillon Gabriel does not look good, he can always say Joe Flacco gives us the best opportunity because he's a veteran, he's been here before, and
now he's gone.
There you go. And that person is taken off the table. Do you think Kevin Stefanski called the Bengals and said, hey, come get Joe? No. That wasn't his move. So you have your idea. You have your understanding. And by the way, you understand who took Shedeur Sanders and who said he's going to play. As a matter of fact, they're probably having a conversation right now about whether or not, even if he does get out of protocol, is Dillon Gabriel going to play this week? That's a conversation they're probably having right now. That's why I wish Kevin
would not have answered that question so definitively yesterday.
Next.
Oh, no, he did the then there would be all this. I was glad he came out and said, nope, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, that's
why. But at least there was definitivity to it.
Well, there was all kinds of finality to when he kept telling us last year who the best quarterback was that gave us the chance to win when he was healthy. Let me ask you guys this question because I'm curious. I don't know what the answer is. There are currently 4 quarterbacks that the Browns could use now that Deshaun is where he is. Rank them 1 to 4. Which quarterback do you think, and even with Deshaun's health and his history, rank them 1 to 4. Who gives them the best chance to win? Now this is an exercise. You might as well just stand there with your legs wide open and tell somebody, "Go ahead, kick me 4 times as hard as you can."
I thought you was going to say something else with their legs wide. With legs wide
honestly,
open.
who gives them the best chance to win is Deshaun.
I listen.
Deshaun gives the best
reason
chance
I asked that question.
But this is not about winning.
No, but
it has been a disaster, and you have to get off of that.
I understand that, but here's the crazy thing about that. Because I agree with you, and I don't know what your guys' answer would be, but I think it would be Deshaun Watson.
Say Deshaun.
I mean, remember the level of excitement for him when we got him. Finally, we've got a guy. He's still the same person. He's been through a lot since then. We don't know what he would look like on the field. But the reason Deshaun Watson is at the top of my list, aside from the fact is I've seen 2, 3, and 4, and they do nothing for me. Just imagine, guys, if they activated him December 1st, and he came out and balled out. Now, I know it's a big if. It's a huge if. But this is a guy, of all the 4, he's the only guy we've ever seen do that in the NFL, right? He's the only one.
That's right.
If he did that,
I just can't imagine he's got it. I think
how that changes your playing field for next year because you're already going to pay him that money anyhow.
What if Dillon Gabriel returns and balls out? It's a better odds of that happening than
is it? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Let me tell you this.
No, you don't think so because you think that Deshaun gives him the best chance to win.
Right now. But I don't think either one of them's going to
I don't either.
Hey, let me tell you
But I'm ranking them 1 to 4. Now, this is where we are.
Hey, can I say this? First of all, we do a lot of revisionist history. It's a lot of people that I don't like Deshaun. Bro, when they announced that Deshaun Watson was coming here, everybody named Mama except for Jay was excited.
Yep.
90% of the people was jumping up for joy.
Yeah.
Now,
you're right.
Let's talk about this. In terms of his body of work is not even like his body of work. Like if you go back to what he's done and put on tape in this league, is tenfold better than everybody else because he's done it. It's proven. If you ask me, would I be surprised if Deshaun Watson went somewhere else and played well? I would tell you, no, I wouldn't be surprised. You know why? Because I done saw Sam Darnold do it. I done seen Mac Jones do it. I done seen Baker Mayfield do it. I done seen Geno Smith have a resurrection.
Culture.
Sometimes
is a big deal.
Sometimes it's all about the mental state you in, understanding and putting in a position where you have a fresh slate, you understand the game, you have perspective, and you can come around and play better. I just don't believe it's going to be here.
Deshaun Watson hasn't been good since COVID.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
That's the last time
Nobody's been banned for this long or out of the league for this long and turned around except for Michael Vick.
Somebody could say Kevin Stefanski's best job was during COVID.
I think we all agree.
I would say that if you said who has the best chance to play, if they were all completely healthy, playing with the same teammates, and you had to rank who would play the best of the four, I would go Watson 1, Shedeur 2, Gabriel 3, Zappy 4.
See, it's funny. The only one I could name easily was Deshaun Watson gives the best chance to win. But then 2, 3, and 4 to me were all interchangeable. Of the three that are remaining, I've only seen one look like an NFL quarterback. And that was Bailey Zappi.
Zappy's thrown more picks than touchdowns.
Yes, he has. But what I'm saying is I've only seen with my eyes one of them look like he can.
I just think Shedeur has upside.
You have to take.
May not be a lot of upside, but
you got to take guys. You got to take into consideration the dude played a half. Listen, you played a half with no reps. So, like, I've seen these other guys play. Now, if you ask me, give him 6 games like Dillon got 6, then I'm going to say,
now, the learning curve for him is he's got, after this one, he's got San Francisco. Then down the road, he's got the Bills, who look pretty good. He's got some teams that.
He's got the Titans, who stink. He's got the Ravens defense, who's
terrible.
terrible.
He got the Saints, too, right?
No.
We don't have the Saints this year?
I need him to lock in on this game. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, you're right.
Listen, we ain't skipping this one. We want improvement from this game and a half, and we want improvement to this game.
We spent an hour and 10 minutes. It's amazing. We spent an hour and 10 minutes on Shedeur, which I get, quarterback, and yet the Browns really have a massive story that's actually positive.
Yes.
In Myles Garrett.
Yes.
And that's what we're getting to
That's
after
the shade.
a quick
70
word
minutes into the show, and we're just now talking about
guys.
future Hall of Fame.
The NBA is back. There's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if their first $5 bet wins. Head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And if you have a winning ticket, send it in to us. We're going to start featuring those on the show again very shortly. If you have a winning ticket, send it in to us. All right, guys, we did spend 70 minutes on the quarterbacks, but Myles Garrett had another incredible performance. 4 sacks, bringing his season total up to 15. He is on pace, to break the single-season sack record. And, Ball, I'll start with you on this one because you texted us last night about it. You think he's going to get there? Can Myles Garrett get to 23 sacks this year?
I do. I think he's going to break the record. I feel very good about it. He's completely healthy. I don't think he's ever been completely healthy at this part of the year. He's always had like a nagging injury or something's popped up. Knock on wood. I don't know if there's any wood here, maybe Jason's brain, that he will stay healthy. What we're seeing, for years, I kept saying, there's another level. He's got another level. And I felt a little bad because he was already the best player. And people felt I was hating on him. I'm like, there's another level. This year, another level. There was another level to Myles Garrett that does not exist in any other player in this league on defense. He has reached it this year. Now the question is, can he do it till the end of the year?
Yeah, because December's his worst month.
Right, but he's never been this good.
November's his second worst month.
You think about his career high in sacks is 16. He's got 15 with 7 weeks to go.
Yeah.
7!
He's become the only reason to watch the Cleveland Browns.
If he averages just 1 sack a game the rest of the year, he'll fall just a half a sack shy of the record. And that's averaging 1 a game. Obviously, he's averaging 1.5 per game right now. The last month is the best we've seen Myles Garrett play. He's got, 11 sacks in the last 4 games?
That's insane.
It's just
unbelievable.
Crazy. He's got more sacks than the Bengals.
If he did
He's
that
got
for a
more
season,
sacks than the Ravens.
It'd be 46 sacks if he did that. If just the rate that he's been at for the last month, he would double the record.
We've
never seen anything like it.
He is just playing out of his mind. It's silly. I expect him to get a sack all the time now. That doesn't happen.
Don't you feel stupid for your fence rider answer now, Bull?
What's that?
Don't you feel really
I
stupid?
do, Mike. You're right.
Answer?
You nailed that one. You got one right.
What was it? I don't remember.
Myles would have more sacks than the Ravens would have touchdowns.
I don't remember what I picked. I think I picked the Ravens on that.
No, I was on my own on this one.
Yeah, Mike was on his own, and he was right.
As usual, I was right.
I didn't anticipate that he wouldn't have sacks. I just anticipated the Ravens would have more touchdowns.
This dude right here, this is an honor because I played the position, and he's the most physically gifted pass rusher of all time.
Fact.
There's no one close. There's no one close. He has the power of Reggie White. He has the quickness of Lawrence Taylor. But Lawrence Taylor was playing at 240, 250. He's 280-something pounds. He has the lateral quickness and mobility like an Aaron Donald. He can bend the hoops. He's the most flexible pass rusher of all time. He can bull rush you. He's stronger than everybody. He runs down Lamar Jackson from the back. He does all of this stuff, and this guy does it week in, week out when everybody knows who he's going to, what you need to stop. They double team him, it don't matter. He gives 3-4 moves, Euro steps. He's the most physically gifted pass rusher of all time. It's not even close. He's about to break the sack record. And here's the thing that you know what? We apologize, Myles. We're going to apologize for you, big dog. They gave him that contract, and people said, man, they should have traded this dude. He got to go. He wasn't invested. He ain't a leader. He ain't this. Listen, Myles Garrett just showed you. Let me show you how good I am. Even though all that stuff you said, let me just show you. Let's see how we run this up. 15 sacks, 22 tackles for loss. Bull said it. He only had his career high is 16. He's racking them up. He's doing, listen, think about this. This is Shohei Ohtani work. He's like, nah, I'm going to go with 5 against the Jets. Oh, do it against Baltimore. Nah, I'm going to give you 4 against Lamar Jackson. This dude, and still getting TFLs in the game on the ground game. This dude, I mean, I'm running out of superlatives.
Really?
I really am, because he didn't, like this, in the last couple 6 weeks, he done moved past so many. Terrell Suggs, you ain't never seen Myles Garrett. TJ Watt, stop playing. You have never been on that level. This dude is Timothy West.
You believe Steeler fans still think TJ Watt?
He done lost their mind.
Yeah, no, what he's done this year, I think, has separated him.
He better than TJ Watt and JJ Watt combined. No, hold on, that was kind of wild.
That's big.
If you,
but I'll tell you this: what he's done this year is shown us, to what Bull said, there is another level. He was frustrating because we kept seeing those flashes here and there, and said, "Man, if we could see that consistently, he'd be the best pass rusher ever to play the game." He has taken that criticism seriously. He has played with a high running motor on a team that's 2-8. Like, he has become the only reason to watch this team. That's it.
He's got nothing else to play for.
He's got nothing to play for now, except for he's playing against the all-time greats. History. And I do believe that he's going to get the record.
Has a player ever won Defensive Player of the Year on a 3-4 win team? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
I can't imagine that it's happened. I can't.
I don't know how you don't.
It's like an MVP in baseball being on a sub 500.
I don't know how you don't give it to him, because it's not most valuable player.
He is what he's done this year with and he's got to continue it. He's got to run through the tape. There's no question about it. There's 7 games to go. If we see the traditional,
if he gets a sack record, you have to give it to him.
Oh, it doesn't
matter what the record is.
But the reason I say the only reason that he won't do that, both get the MVP and break the record, is if he does what he's done every December.
Well,
he can't let off the gas.
He can't win the MVP because that is value to winning.
Yes.
And they don't win.
But if he sets the record, he can't not win it.
Absolutely. He's the Defensive Player of the Year, but he can't.
And the fact that he's doing it on a team that's 2-8, it really does. I mean, we're not talking about is he the best this year. That's not what we're talking about anymore. He's the best in the game. And I think, to G's point, he's the most that your statement's definitely true.
Physically gifted.
He's the most physically gifted. Just look at the man. Nobody looks like that.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I think that when it's all said and done, I think there is a more likely than not chance that he is referred to as the GOAT.
The only thing against him, it's not his fault, is that
he's on a bad team.
He's been on a bad team, and some of the other great pass rushers have had those those playoff moments.
But because he's on a bad team, you can double and triple him all the time. He's doing that with double teams on red.
And all I care about, listen, I mean, Derek Thomas was go watch him. Derek Thomas was a monster. Some of these Kevin Green was a beast. Deacon Jones. But when you watch all of these guys, man, you can pick out the one thing that they were great with. Either it was the punch, the hand placement, his get off is just he's like a track athlete. When you put up that number again about his get off,
0.73.
0.73. That means he's already passed people. And to do that, I could understand if he was at a Von Miller size, who's playing at a smaller size.
Yeah, he's a behemoth.
He's bigger than all these guys by 25, 30 pounds, and he's doing that. So when you look at it, he has all of those characteristics wrapped up, and he's still able to do it. And by the way, people say motor. He's playing this way, and they 2-8. He ain't got nothing to play for.
Guys, let's put
real
this
quick. Real quick. See
Yeah.
this on the screen? He's second with 21 QB hits. Who do you think's first? Just out of curiosity. If any of you guys get this, I'll give you $10 right now.
Okay, so
Well,
then
but it's not with the obvious.
nobody that I would think of.
QB hits.
QB hits. This person has 30, by the way.
Jeez.
What position does he play?
Defensive line.
Okay.
I couldn't even venture a guess because it's not going to be.
And ain't gonna be nobody,
somebody that you would think
Micah
of.
Yeah, if he's
Parsons
saying that-
or defensive.
We won't
Max
guess
Crosby.
It is not Max Crosby. You're out, Bull.
No, because that would be it's
that's
not
a
going to
little
be
too
a
obvious,
usual
yeah.
suspect.
Yeah. I don't
Cam
know.
Hayward.
Not. He's close, but it's not him.
Dang.
I don't know. Just tell us.
Zach Allen, defensive tackle for the Broncos, has 30 quarterback
Wouldn't have guessed that.
No.
50
How many does Hayward have?
Give me 1 second. I pull up the whole list.
But real-
Guys, let me put this into perspective real quick before you go. Since the sack was an official stat in 1982, so this is the, 43rd year?
Yep.
Or whatever it is. On average, per season, not per player, on average in a season over the 40-some-odd years, there have been 3 4-sack games by an individual player. 4 or more sack games.
Really?
Understand what I'm saying?
That's it?
On average. That's it. By one individual player. So, like, there may have been a year where Aaron Donald had a 4-sack game, and maybe he had a second one, and then somebody else had a 4-sack game.
Right.
On average, it's been a little over 3. It's like 3.1, 3.2 per year.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett's done it twice in 4 weeks.
It's insane.
I've never you got to understand.
crazy.
You don't even. You may be a defensive lineman, and you may have 2 opportunities to even get there quick enough to put pressure on a quarterback, let alone 4 sacks. That's crazy.
And remember, he has the disadvantage of the fact that quite often in the fourth quarter, his team is losing, so the other team's not even throwing.
Not throwing,
Yeah,
not
just
throwing
running.
passes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And no, we've talked all year about, although Baltimore did put it in jeopardy a little bit yesterday, but for the most part, teams don't even have to put the ball in jeopardy against this Browns team because you just wait for the Browns to go full Browns. But the thing, because you mentioned about the trade, and I wrote it, they should have traded him. I still think they should have traded him. No one has ever doubted his greatness. I've never once disputed what a phenomenal talent he is or player he is. My argument was his prime is not going to match their
being wasted.
Unfortunately,
their contention window. Like, this team is multiple years away from contending for a Super Bowl, and that's under the best case scenario. That was the only reason why I wrote that they missed an opportunity to take advantage of his value. In terms of his as a physical player and physical talent and a player, he'll be the greatest of all time by the time he's done at the rate that he's going.
I just think that, I know we think of life as in, like, let's maximize our value and our picks and what we have, but there's something to be said in this industry, in this business, for having excellence, for having somebody who represents you, for being, if I'm going to lose, I want to lose and be able to say, I got an opportunity to watch one of the best left tackles ever.
I get that.
I want to be able to
It's
say.
intoxicating because you know what? We got Joe Thomas, but how
What'd you get
exciting
for
is
him?
it to watch a great offensive
What'd you
lineman?
get for him? What'd you win
Like,
with Joe? What have they
yeah.
done with Myles?
And
As phenomenal as Myles has been?
I'm still with you, Jay.
They've got what? 5 wins? 5 wins over the last 2
over
years?
the last 2 years.
But
And
you got to build it some way.
I do understand what you're saying because as a fan, you want to have something. If you're going to suck everywhere and lose every week,
Give me something to watch.
give me
I get
something
it.
to cheer for, and there is some value in that. However, I think we all agree on this panel. He is, if not the greatest pass rusher of all time yet, because you can make that case today. He's in the top 3. I just think he is.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, if you have that chip, here's the math that the front office has to do. Do we keep him for the fans' sake and keep losing? Or he's this unicorn that we could turn into 3 first-round draft picks. Now, this is the same franchise that understands the value of first-round draft picks because they gave 3 away 4 years ago.
There is no trading him now. He's here.
No, that ship has sailed.
It's
That's
over.
water under the bridge. He will
With
probably
the cap
play out his
situation,
career here.
he is here.
But all of that being said, I do think that even with the year he's having, if you're looking at building for the future, you had an opportunity to get back those 3 first-round picks you gave up for Deshaun Watson, and now see what it feels like to get those extra picks and to really build something and perhaps get out of this 35-year funk that we're in.
But we got to talk about another defensive player on this team, Mike.
Yeah,
we'll do the rookie report, guys.
My
The rookie
God.
report this week is brought to us by the Home Builders Association. Gift big this year with the Home for the Holidays raffle. You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season and help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids with critical illnesses. Raffle proceeds benefit Make-A-Wish OKI, which has granted over 22,000 wishes to children facing critical illnesses across Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana since 1983. This year's house, a custom-built ranch by Petros Homes, and it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 3-car garage. It also includes amazing features like a great room, an unbelievable kitchen, and a mudroom with open lockers. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidays.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidays.org. Terms and conditions apply. It's time for our rookie report, and this week we are featuring Carson Schlesinger, Mason Graham, who I thought played his best game of the season, and Quinshon Judkins. G, where do you want to start? Your choice.
I'm gonna start with Schlesinger, man. Let me raise my hand. See, I'm gonna give this up for everybody. You ain't got to double and triple down. When they drafted Carson Schlesinger, I said, "Who the heck is Carson Schlesinger?" We did the draft thing here.
Everybody did.
I said, "Who is this dude?" I don't know. I've never heard. I called Tyvis. You do Big Ten Network. Who is this? I couldn't find nobody who knew him. And let me tell you this: this dude might be already one of the best linebackers in the league. Already. First and foremost, the level of grit he showed. We like, yeah, Carson Schlesinger about to be out for 3-4 weeks. He didn't miss no weeks. What you talking about?
That was crazy.
Matter of fact, he didn't miss no weeks and was out there running people down the very next week.
The beauty of being in your 20s.
Like,
no kidding.
Whatever he got, boy, I couldn't listen, man.
Whoever said he was going to be out 4 weeks is 45.
Man, listen, man, I ain't got no more rounds than me, bro. This dude, the fact that he plays 3 downs, he calls the plays. I even like the fact that he don't even be starstruck. He'd be like, yeah, number 8, number 22. I like what they did. Shout out to them on the broadcast team. They say that's how he goes at it. He plays the pass. He's sideline to sideline. He don't play no games. He brings his attitude and his line. He bring his attitude when he come to the tackle. He's one of them dudes that if you don't get there, he's not assuming you're gonna make the tackle. I'm gonna finish all tackles, and you got you one, bro. This dude is the best defensive rookie. It ain't even close. Myles Garrett he's gonna win this by a bigger margin than Myles Garrett could win Defensive Player of the Year.
What's Abdul Carter up to these days?
Chilling.
He got benched to start the game.
I mean, think about that.
That's wild.
And here's what I want to know. Inquiring minds demand to know this. Who was behind? Who drove the bus on that pick?
Andrew Berry.
Was he here when I gave my theory last week about why I think?
Yes, I think
Boogeyman
I've heard it.
You gave him a headache on that one.
So I got a lot of feedback on that, by the way, from somebody who knows really well how the whole thing works. You know him. I'll tell you who it is after the show. He doesn't like when I say his name. I've said his name on the show a couple times. He's like, some of the stuff I tell you is in confidence. You know, we all know him. Big NFL name. And really, I always thought his skill set was assessing talent. He thought my theory was on. He goes, listen, when you're doing the same thing all the time and it's not working, to figure out exactly like what's the worst thing, you start to change things up. And something was different about this year's draft.
It just was.
We all agree, right? Like, they got this draft right. The guy who
they still drafted Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round.
And they still got this draft right.
That's kind of crazy.
They took 2 quarterbacks, both of which have shown us nothing yet, but this draft is by far the best one they've had in 10 years.
Yeah.
And
I don't know about 10 years.
Yeah, that might be a little stretch.
Certainly in 6 years.
Yeah. But here's my point to all this. The reason that this person agrees with my theory is because he said, well, one person is gone. And let's face it, he was going to get fired.
Right.
He knew what time it was.
We knew what time it was.
So he said it might be a legitimate theory because if he did have his hands tied for this draft, and as the year has played out, we've seen all these hits in this draft. He's looking from his office saying, uh-oh, they blocked me out of the room and they got it right. I'm not long for this world. And he jumped ship. That's why he thinks that this theory, there could be something to this theory. But he said what I said on the air. We'll never find out because no one's going to tell that tale. They don't. The NFL doesn't do that.
They don't kiss and tell. But I will tell you this. I mean, Carson Schwarzenegger, that pick, Quinshawn Harold, when you look at that, and if Shedeur Sanders is in, if he shows any sort of level of promise, and they're like, oh, we might have got us something here. This is, I mean.
Now we're going to give Andrew Berry credit for that when we clearly know that that was a Jimmy Haslam move.
Well, listen.
I'm not giving him credit.
I'm going to, listen, if he going to trade Joe Flacco, he moved the piece to get him on the field.
By the way, for the PFF is dead for me crowd, Jay, the leader of that.
Still dead for me.
Here's a good example, and I have to join you now, as Carson Schwarzenegger's ranked 37th at linebacker.
Yeah, dead.
Now, that's not bad, but it's not top.
That means every team in the NFL has a linebacker better than him. That's laughable.
Devin Bush is like number 5.
This guy's averaging 8.4 tackles.
And Devin Bush is playing well, but Carson Schwarzenegger's been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Too bad they should have taken Tyler Shuck, though.
Oh, my God. I didn't say that, Jason.
You got
nothing.
They kind of did.
By the way, how much is it helping them win?
No, they got 2 wins.
Listen, you know what? When the Buccaneers ship turned, they did it with the defensive draft picks a couple years in a row. Here's what we have this year. We have a foundation. We haven't had that really since like Myles, Baker, Denzel. There is now a foundation. And before you can put the house up, you got to have somewhere to put it, or it's going to sink into the earth.
That's what teams say when they don't have a quarterback.
No, but Bull,
there's plenty of teams that started with the quarterback and got better around them.
Do we have a premier linebacker on our team now?
Yes.
Do we have a premier running back on our team now, despite the fact that he's not doing anything? But we've all seen what he can be.
None of that's helping them win until
Let me give you this.
It's not. What I'm saying is, the foundation is built. Then you can build the.
They don't have a foundation. They have some pieces. I think
we have some pieces.
I know, but there's 25 teams that have more pieces.
I'm not saying that we're going to compete now. What I'm saying is there's hope for the future. Put 4 of these classes together. And that's what the Buccaneers did.
They got 1.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big ask.
And we don't even know that they got 1 with some of the picks. Do we know Mason Graham's a hit?
Yeah, I think Mason Graham is a hit.
I think he's a pretty good player.
I think he's a hit.
You drafted him 5th overall. You got to be more than a pretty good player.
I think the first 4 draft picks are hits.
I'm not ready to say that on Mason Graham yet. We'll see.
Let me give y'all something. Here's what I will say this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the pick, Carson Schwarzenegger. I look at Devin Bush playing well. I'm gonna give credit to somebody that's in the shadows. We ain't heard his name in a minute. I remember he came on this show in the beginning and was like, oh man, JOK, I don't know what JOK is doing. I cut him. And then guess what? JOK turned his game around. DeQuell Jackson. DeQuell, listen, I'm telling you, he knows linebackers. He
don't work with the
He's not with the team anymore.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with it.
That's okay.
No, listen, but I'm saying, was he there last year?
Not when they drafted Schlesinger, though. That's my point. He was not part of the. I already talked to him about this. He was
okay. Well, okay. We're not gonna give him no credit then.
we still love DQ.
But I still like him. But I still like him.
DQ then? Where is he?
Traveling, living his best life right now.
Good for him.
Far away from the NFL.
But here's what I will say about Carson.
Browns will run people out of that profession real quick.
Yes.
Whoever, if it was the boogeyman or the tooth fairy, whoever drafted Carson Schwarzenegger, understand they're getting clout with the owner.
And so what I wish we knew would take I don't know that anybody could ever drag it out of anybody in the organization, but I wish we could actually piece together the behind the scenes building of their draft strategy. Who is really the guy turning?
We don't
in
know
the
that
card.
for any team.
No, we
It'll
do
come
for some.
out. It'll come out with the Browns when everybody's fired.
Well, I hope it does.
Or
I hope it does.
when one person gets fired and one person is magically still here. Or
but DePodesta was transparent when he went to Colorado. He said, "Oh yeah, we all own that Deshaun Watson's."
And when I say when everybody gets fired, I don't mean Barry and Kevin necessarily. I mean, like the entire front
Everybody's
office.
gone. Yeah, someone
when
will.
the entire front office moves on. is
Someone
when
will
stuff
talk to
comes
someone
out.
like you, who's doing a big deep dive investigative piece.
Yeah, and it all comes out.
It usually does, but no one's going to come forward. Like Kevin Stefanski isn't going to tell us. Now, we will learn something if my theory is true. At some point, maybe Jimmy will say, "Well, we just realized that Paul's way wasn't working for us. It just wasn't working for us." I mean, we all knew that. We knew that 5 years ago. But
So
they
then,
kept
do you
going.
think Andrew Berry should not be fired?
Before I can answer that question honestly, I need to know the following. Did Andrew, in an effort to stick up for himself, did he have a conversation with Jimmy that sounded something like this? I'm the general manager of this football team. I know Paul is here. I know Paul plots our point on the horizon. I have yet to be able to go into a draft and take the players that I feel are the best.
I think that's so unlikely that that's the case, that was the case. But I
don't know.
We're never going to know that. So we got to make opinions on the information we have.
This will be, I think step one was DePodesta is out. Okay. Step two will be if Andrew Berry comes back next year. If Jimmy brings Andrew back next year, that to me is more fuel to my argument that it was always Paul driving the bus, and Andrew said, if I'm going to get fired, I want to be fired on my merits or my deficiencies.
I don't agree that.
Let me drive the bus
But
on
why
this
would
draft
that
class.
be proof? He wasn't fired. He left.
If Andrew
No,
comes
but Paul
back.
DePodesta left.
I thought he definitely got fired.
We parsed this out last week. Every article that I've written, or that I've read so far on this, said that he was dead man walking, and he knew it. He ran to a baseball job.
Yeah.
We knew he was going to be
In
fired.
fairness, he's been. I think he's been trying to get back in baseball.
Yeah.
Nobody
Sure,
fired
because
him.
he's been reading the tea leaves.
No,
Man, how long
I
have
heard
I
he's
been
been trying to get back in baseball for 2 years.
Before
He
this
finally
year.
did it this year.
I don't know. I
When
don't
he
know.
got
We know for
desperate,
sure you think he was definitely going to get fired?
I don't know. I can't say that definitively. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do know
I
that
feel he was
he
dead.
was at least the third choice of the worst team in baseball
Yes.
because the guy from Cleveland turned them down, and they had someone else turn
Anyway,
them down.
we've kind of gone off the rail from grading the the rookies, Mike.
Can we get back to Mason? I thought
Mason Graham, Jimmy talked about the post-game show.
Mason
Give me Mason Graham.
Mason Graham, I thought have a really nice game. The Cleveland Browns do a lot of penetration, which makes it difficult for Derrick Henry to get the ball. And they basically say, listen, if they can't get past the first wall of defenders, Derrick Henry can't keep going. He had the one tackle for loss, but the thing that I like to see with him is there were plays where Derrick Henry couldn't even get going because of his penetration in the backfield. This comes after he had a really nice pass rush grade for PFF against the Jets, and he had, I think it was 88% in that game. I think for him, he just has to learn how to get a little bit more stronger, a little bit more, physically. He'll get stronger physically. He'll develop some counter moves. And the hardest position in terms of getting it right, there's two positions that's the hardest position to come out swinging right now: defensive tackle, and actually, believe it or not, tight end. Because tight ends need to be able to block. They need to be able to pass. They need to be able to have pass protection, and they need to be able to run routes and catch the football. So it's a very hard position to get. Defensive tackle is the second most, in my opinion, tough position because you're not only expected to be a 3-down player, but you have to have production. And the thing that people are pointing to is he don't have the level of production. But there's some good bones there. I think he still needs to continue to have a counter move and a pass rush plan. That comes with times in the offseason, but I thought he had a really nice game against the Ravens.
I want to be really careful how I word this so it doesn't come out wrong because Myles Garrett didn't need help from anybody. He's proven that. But the fact that I think this is the best defensive line he's probably played on, is that fair?
Yes.
In his career here?
Yes.
How much has that unlocked this other level that Bull's talking about, that he's got 15 sacks already in however many weeks, and the pace that he's on? I just wonder, again, I'm not trying to credit Mason Graham and Malik Collins for Myles' success. Myles doesn't need them to rack up the numbers that he can put up. But I do think that having more talent around him has helped him get to this other level. And I think Mason's played a role in that. And Malik Collins has been terrific next to him. And I think Isaiah McGuire has flashed multiple times.
Alex
Wright's had moments this year. So I just think that the talent that they've built up around that defensive line has been key for Myles, and Mason's a big part of that.
I agree. They ran a stat yesterday, Mike. Maybe you can give me a little more clarity on it. The stat they ran yesterday was the Browns lead the league with first contact by running backs behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, I would guess that would be more the interior.
Yes, because you're trying to change the line of
edge
scrimmage.
guys, yeah.
You're changing the line of scrimmage.
I would guess, and there may be individual numbers that would help me make that final decision, but to me, I think Mason Graham is the piece to that. So I don't know where he ranks individually in contacting running backs behind the line of scrimmage, but I know collectively this line has been the best defensive line that we've seen in Cleveland. And I think that Mason Graham is the outside piece, the biggest outside piece that came in to kind of make the difference, to raise everybody else's game around him.
Well, I think Malik Collins has outplayed.
Collins has been great. Collins has been great.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't watch football like you do. I know guys. I used to hear Warren Sapp talk about like line of scrimmage and point of impact, and I'm like, man, I should pay more attention watching just that. Because he said that you want to figure out who the better football team is, don't look at the ball. Look at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Who's moving who?
Change.
Who's getting penetration? Who's keeping the other team away?
Yeah.
That's going to tell you, that and turnovers, it's going to tell you who wins the football game. And I do think that he has made an impact at that position, and he's just a rookie. Also, I'm told from people that have played that position that it is a pretty dramatic learning curve that goes along with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we'll see, I hope, we'll see a definitive jump year to year in Mason Graham as he continues to progress throughout his career.
Right now, he don't have no. Right now, because of the system he played in Michigan, he's not a pass rusher. He's just a guy that uses quickness to get in the backfield and to tackle people. He don't even have a move. He really don't have like a rip move or a basic move that he goes to in pass rush downs.
Do those guys typically develop that?
Oh, yeah. You got to.
He better, otherwise he wasn't worth the 5th pick.
Hey, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
The thing that you can't teach is the raw tools, the quickness off the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And if you want to contact people, in the biggest thing Myles Garrett has is his get off. That's what it starts. It starts with your stance and your get off. Once you get the get off, now you can play in their backfield. Because I don't care what you're trying to run. You're trying to run zone, you want to run gap schemes, you want to down block, you want to trap. You can't trap me if I'm in your backfield. And Jim Schwartz ran a defense where, they say Dalvin Tomlinson, he didn't fit what they wanted to run. He's a typical nose tackle. But now they got 3 techniques. Mike Hall Jr., I thought, played a nice little game. He flashed some things. Now they got 3 techniques that's upfield. And now Myles Garrett is collapsing everything from the edges. Now you keep people in the pocket. That's why you look at what Lamar Jackson was doing. He never looked comfortable because guys are in your face, in your lap. And I think that it's the body type that they're looking for. And I think he has the body type. He just needs to develop the skill sets to go around it.
Real quick, we mentioned him earlier, but I want to give Quinshon Judkins just a little more time before we get to Super Chats. And I got a stat for you guys to wrap up the show here. But Judkins had 32 yards on that one drive, the second drive of the game for the Browns.
Looked great on that drive.
Was kind of stymied. The Browns, they're not a creative running team, and I think part of that's the offensive line. But his overall yards per carry average does not do justice to some of the things that Quinshon did yesterday.
And I think, and guys, you can attack this if you want, because I can see where you would punch a hole in that. I want to blame most of that on the offensive line. I'm looking at some of the holes he has to run through. Now, he did have a big hole yesterday on a run that he broke. But, man, BG, are you seeing any daylight there for him to hit?
No, they bust you know what the disappointing part about it is? When you watch them every week on film, they have running concepts where I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand. I'm watching it trying to understand why would you leave that guy open? Why are you not zoning that? Why are you not picking those guys
we missed
up?
Bill Callahan
My
more
goodness.
than we ever thought we would.
They don't seem to have a cohesive. The first foundation you have to understand is what is our Bible in terms of our rules and how we want to block things. Are we blocking this double teaming to the front side? Are we double teaming to the back side? Are we going to surpass that guy? Pass protections. Is the back going to fill on the edge, or where the back's going to? All these rules, it doesn't seem like there's a rhyme or reason. And there are times when there's free runners. And I'm like, listen, that's Roquan Smith, guys. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not going to miss that tackle. You might want to block him. And they aren't there. But the thing that is impressive about Quinshon Judkins is the fact that he has what I call fresh legs. When you got fresh legs, he seems to find a way to bounce it on the outside. He finds a way to give a guy in a move, and an unblocked tackler gets shook up, and he's off to the races. He does more with less, and that's what you need from a young back. Sometimes when you get older running backs, they start to get tackled. You're like, man, did they fall off? Nah, it's not they fell off. It's the fact that they don't have them legs to do certain things to make guys miss. So those yards are not impressive at 3.5 yards per carry, but they could be 2.5 yards per carry if he wouldn't been doing some of the things he's doing.
Maybe even less. He's played very well. I think the upside on him is great. I think he's going to be a top 10 back by next year. The offensive line's still going to stink next year, most likely. But
Most likely.
if they could ever get a good offensive line from the block, he'll be near the top.
Is he on pace for 1,000 yards?
Barely, I think.
He has. Steve, pull back his season stats.
Yeah, he's on pace for
620.
1,000
Yeah, he's
yards.
on pace for 1,000 because he missed a game too, Jay. He missed the first.
Yeah,
game.
no, but he's not.
Okay.
It's not going to be like a 1,300 or 1,400 yard
No, it'll
season.
just be over.
He should go over it, but it won't be that much.
A 1,000-yard season from him missing in no camp, I'll take it.
You know what's crazy is we're watching Trevion Henderson after he got out of Mike Vrabel's doghouse. He scored 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State had both those guys in the backfield last year and lost to Michigan.
Cheaters.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
But hey, Mason Graham said, "Hey, I had a lot to."
Mason Graham had a lot to do with that.
So guys,
there's a backstory between Mason Graham and Chip Kelly that's fascinating. But we'll save that for another day. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So we asked earlier, what is the fewest amount of wins a DPOY has ever had in a season
Okay.
in NFL history, right?
Yeah, I'd guess it'd be 7.
Well, I got the answer. It is very beneficial to be good friends with the head researcher at NFL Network. Shout out to Jack Andre, who I went to college with.
it is good.
Could not find it on my own, so I texted Jack, got back to me a minute later. Are you guys ready for this? And
Yeah.
once again, follow @RealJackAndre on Twitter. Great stats.
Who won last year? The Broncos corner?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In 1992, the Seattle Seahawks went 2-14,
Oh, my
and Cortez Kennedy won Defensive Player.
And you know what? He had one of those kind of years where you couldn't ignore it.
14 sacks in 16 games in
Yeah.
92.
You
which
couldn't
was
ignore it.
by far.
One of the
The
greatest
second
D tackles of all
fewest.
time.
So we could be 2-15. We would break
Second
that.
fewest in a full season. Jason Taylor in 06. The Dolphins went 6-10. He won the DPOY.
Wow.
And then it's happened one more time in a full season. Strahan, when he broke the sack record, the Giants were 7-9. And then Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White both won it in shortened seasons. The Giants were 4-5 when the season ended. The Eagles were 7-8 when the season
How
ended.
many sacks did Jason Taylor and them have?
In 06?
He was double digits for sure.
In 06, Jason Taylor had 13.5 sacks.
Oh, it's a wrap. This dude
See, I
he
think
done
so
won it.
too. I mean,
He might get 20.
well,
gotta-
you know how
he's
in
gotta finish
baseball, like
Shout
they
out Jack,
almost
thank you
never
for that.
give the MVP to somebody who plays
Right,
for a
right.
team that,
Yeah.
didn't one year, was it Ernie Banks?
Andre
Dawson.
Dawson.
I knew it was a Cubby.
Yeah.
They finished in last place, and he won the MVP.
Because he had 49 homers and 150
He made it.
ribbies.
He made it no
when
argument.
people were not putting up those
I feel
numbers.
like
No, right.
A-Rod did that one year in Texas, didn't he? Didn't he win the MVP on a bad
I
team
think
in
he
Texas?
did too on a
It's-
bad
it's
team. I don't know if they
very,
were last
very,
place, but
very
they were
rare.
there. Baseball, it's very rare.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I mean, it's not the defensive MVP; it's the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And there's no argument right now. I mean, I guess it could change.
Would there be an argument if
Yeah.
he breaks the record that he is the NFL MVP?
No.
I don't think he can win it.
You don't think he could win it because how bad the Browns are?
Yeah.
How valuable can you be if you're
not winning?
only
Teams
Yeah.
2-15, yeah.
Yeah, but to me, it makes it even more impressive.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did that on a team who played games that did not matter.
Right.
It is true.
That's
All right,
crazy.
guys, we got some Super Chats to get to. Before we get to Super Chats, one last word from FanDuel. The NBA is back. No better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when their first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com/UCSS to sign up and play your game. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Also, I met Colin Malota this weekend at the Charge game. We wanted me to give him a shout-out, so shout-out to Colin. All right, Super Chats. We got a bunch. We'll get to as many as we can. Swanson family says all that matters is Shedeur had his team in a position to win. Maybe y'all can't recognize a winner. That person has it. 2 touchdowns were dropped.
They had the lead.
They had the
when
lead
in the
when he
game.
came in. So he
They
didn't
lost
put
the
them in
lead.
position to win the game.
They were already in
position to win
I
the
was
game
thinking
when
the
he
same
came
thing.
in.
I think he meant like he kind of moved them down the field on that last drive, I guess.
Whatever.
Well-
They had the lead when he went in the game.
No, I understand that, yes.
To the actual point he's making,
It
he's
did
a
make
winner
sense.
because he came in with a 6-point lead and lost by 7?
Come on.
Next-
But had a chance to win? Like,
We'll be here all day if
let's
we do
pump
this.
the
Go to the
brakes
next
on that.
one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next one. Ben Thompson says, love Myles, but him having 9 sacks over 3 games that were losses is exactly why you trade him. This team sucks to watch right now. Medic says, questionable quarterback preparation in that building. O-line doesn't know 12's cadence. Stefanski didn't even give 12 a handful of first-team reps in the first 6 weeks, while DG got them behind Flacco. Stefanski is negligent.
Again, multiple former NFL players have come out and said, Kurt Warner said it, Josh McCown said, they never took reps when they were backups. They never took first-team reps.
And the other thing, too, is I think it would matter that the fact that the quarterback that starts is a rookie.
Yeah.
And it would almost be malpractice if your starting quarterback was losing reps to a rookie drafted 2 rounds later than you. Your job is as a coach isn't to get the backup ready.
No.
It's to get the starter ready. And now, you also have to develop this backup, but you can't sacrifice the development of your starter to try to bring along your backup at the same time.
I thought we would spend way more time on this today. I'm shocked that we really didn't.
I am too.
The only thing I would add, I was talking to Zach about this morning, so I want to make sure I had it right. Everyone makes it sound like these guys are on the practice field for 5 hours a day and there's hundreds of reps to go around. That is just not true.
It's
They
like
get
30 to
about
40.
What's that?
Luke McCown said there's 30 to 40 reps in practice.
Yeah, there's like 14 periods. You're on the field for about an hour, hour and a half, and not all of those are live.
Right.
So you might get 8 reps in a period. That's it.
Now, they
So
did say
there's just
yesterday
not
during
a
the
ton to go
broadcast,
around.
and I didn't even know this. This was something I didn't even know that you could do because the NFL has so many restrictions on practice hours and everything else. But they said during the course of the broadcast that Mondays and Saturdays with the Browns are extensive individual extension workouts. So that's probably after practice.
Yeah, and they do these hungry dog periods where they've gotten the young kids, both Dillon and Shedeur, extra reps all along. But within the structure of the actual practice, there's just not a ton of time.
And by the way, don't you think he played outside of Jerry Jeudy? He played with all the other receivers in practice.
I'm sure he has a number
Yeah.
of reps, but look, there's only one first team, and
Yeah,
you got to get
that's
your
being
rookie
blown-
first team quarterback.
that's being blown
reps.
way out of proportion.
So is anybody going to be arguing? Let's just say that he goes into protocol. Will anybody even bring up, discuss, or argue that, well, Bailey Zappi's not getting any second team rep or first team reps?
No, it'll never come up.
I always talk about this, man. It's
part of it.
Hey, at this point, look, what you should be doing is looking forward and saying, listen, okay, you didn't get no reps. What did you expect him to come out there and do? At the end of the day, if he get these reps this week, let's see what he could do.
That's right.
We got it.
That's why he has to play.
This is why, because if you get a regular opportunity, the opportunity and the evaluation starts when you are placed in that role and then you are in the driver's seat to put the infrastructure around you. And so guess what? Now you get a chance to see this week, and that's what I think everybody's excited for.
Well, I think
All right,
it
next
starts
one.
when you get your first game
Yes,
action,
yes.
but it really gets important
it's here.
now.
It's now.
Now matters.
All right, next super chat. Genius Productions said Dillon had 70 total passing and rushing yards. Shedeur had 63. Both played 2 quarters. Dillon had practice reps. Shedeur had no practice reps with the 1 Shedeur time with reps. Aaron Trucking says 12. Showed
for
flashes in 16 attempts. Not judging a rookie quarterback. Ice cold, no reps. Hadn't played in a game in 5 months. He'll be fine. It's your boy Oz. Say what you want. Shedeur converted the only 3rd downs of the game for the Browns. Already matched DG for the longest completion of the season.
Yeah, their third down percentage ratio was
nasty.
absolutely
Abysmal.
nauseating.
And the one they converted, Kyle Hamilton kicked the ball and they got
Yes, he
45
did.
yards on it.
Yes, he did.
Go ahead.
Sebastian said Spurgeon win, Charlie Fry, Colt McCoy, Cody Kessler, Deshaun Kaiser, DTR, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, LOL, that's all. Hashtag Mendoza time.
You know what's interesting, guys? Mendoza has looked good. What's crazy is the last 6 games Cleveland has played versus Baltimore, we've used 6 different quarterbacks.
That's wild.
Has that ever happened in the NFL?
That is
Probably
wild.
not.
I mean,
didn't realize that.
that is almost blows your mind. It hurts my head to think
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
crazy.
And you know what? I would like to get to a point where this is crazy. I just thought about it when he went into the football game. How cool would it be to get to a point where you just actually know who your starters is, and then you could watch them every single week and then get better like regular teams? Like, hey, what if we knew we had a guy for a whole year and there was no chance for him coming out of the game?
Well,
And
they did with Baker.
That's been a long time ago.
They had a chance.
All right, next one. James May says, "Why was Teller so upset?"
It was
They looked like they were offside.
blatant
in the last play.
offside. So it was
Yeah.
obvious live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Neil
offside?
Gray says, "I'm glad Shedeur got his first team reps in an NFL game. The Ravens coach planned for him starting, and Stefanski didn't plan for him starting. How ironic. One coach was prepared, the other wasn't." Miss Bell said, "What did they do to correct Shedeur since May?" Brody's bottom line says, "Kevin's playing a dangerous game with his coaching career after this." Dragon the Abandoner said Shedeur felt like Jameis. He almost had 3 turnovers. However, he almost immediately made the offense more explosive. Jameis is a far better operator, but the same energy. Brad Schrack said, "Say what you want, but with DG, we were up 16-10 in the first half. With Shedeur, we lost 0-13, and at one point had 19 yards on offense in 18 plays. The worst was the interception, the 15-yard sack inside our own 20.
In fairness on that, Dillon had a short field to work with once.
I mean, the Browns defense scored the touchdown.
Browns defense
Defense
essentially
scored 10 of the 16 points.
Both quarterbacks were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both awful, and trying to compare them and say one was better than the other. That's like
I think it's short. That's not the way it works. We short-minded. You're supposed to be concentrating on the evaluation. I think so many people are caught up between is it him versus him, and this no. I need y'all both to be better, and you need to you gotta have
Both gotta be better.
Yes, you gotta have an evaluation, man.
Miss Bell, if Ravens prepared for Shedeur, why didn't Stefanski?
okay. That's the second
time?
person
What
that
does
has
that
said this.
mean?
What do they mean? I know they're not there to answer for themselves, but who in the world said the Ravens prepared for Shedeur?
Where were people coming up with
I'm not
this?
sure what that. Yeah, I have no idea.
Harbaugh didn't say anything after the game.
I mean, somebody must have said something, or there must be some misinformation out there. Why would the Ravens have prepared for Shedeur?
I don't know, but this is the
doesn't
second
make
person
any
that said
sense.
that. They didn't prepare. They watched him for a quarter and said, "Oh, we can blitz this guy and rattle him."
And they wasted no time in mocking him. As soon
None.
as they sacked
Yeah,
him.
you saw
you know
Kyle
what?
Hamilton.
It
Yeah.
wasn't just him.
It reminds me a little bit of Tim Tebow. When Tim Tebow came into the league, and there were a lot of people in the league that were very vocal that he should not be playing at quarterback.
He shouldn't have been.
He should not have been.
Yeah.
First time
As
he got
soon
sacked,
as
they
it
started
became
Tebow.
obvious,
Yeah.
I saw guys sacking him and doing this. I saw a lot of mockery dropping to a
Manziel
knee
was
and
done
pray.
too.
Johnny Manziel. When you
The
come
money
in with
sign.
that target, and in some cases they put it on themselves, but
Yeah.
when you come in with that target, don't be surprised when you take arrows.
That's what that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you want people not to do that, shut
Score.
them up.
Go
Go
score.
touchdowns.
That's right.
Brody's bottom line says, when they name Shedeur QB2, that 5th-round pick narrative is done. I respect Kevin if he says, I don't like him. That's why I'm not giving him first-team reps. Bahama Mama says, shout out to Bolin Bush, best in Cleveland. Medic said, soft players play with more energy when Shedeur came in. Digital Mafia said, Dart was throwing picks. That's why he had to run more. These guys sent a couple in. I'm going to get to the next one. BMR so chill. If the Browns go back to DG, it's inexcusable. Homer GF says Shook threw for 302 touchdowns in the second start. Miss Bell says, Jason, what quarterback have they developed that played bad? Digital Mafia says Shook got reps in training camp and practice. K-Stow22 said bad quarterback draft equals overdrafting DG with a top 100 pick makes sense. Gets Stefanski and AB out of here expeditiously. The idea of this regime selecting a first-round quarterback gives me nightmares, but hey, at least we're tanking for Arch. Solo Zeke says
A 3-year
Remember that?
A 3-year tank is crazy. We taking 3 years in advance. You know what I'm saying? To just get the better chance. Yeah.
Arch ain't coming out.
Solo Zeke says, where was all this sack talk when Dillon took 6? Mr. Miami says, I came here for Shedeur and have now become a Browns fan. Shedeur played bad, but watching him from Colorado, he's obsessed with being the best. He's going to have 300 passing yards next week. Have faith.
God, I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
He
That
thought
would be-
he thought 300.
Those 300, Dillon Gabriel
lot
can
of
just
fun.
He
People
throws
be-
300, he'll have the starting job the following week, too.
Yes, he will.
People will be tap dancing in the street.
Two Thumbs says, could have took Joe Milton from the Patriots, drafted a receiver, running back, and linebacker, and been fine. Not Mason Graham at 5. Still need more offensive linemen, but man, it's better than this.
Let's get this
Topo
Joe Milton obsession. He played
says
one
the
game.
delusion from our fan base is hilarious. Sanders did exactly what his faults are in one game, but yet he's going to fix that in a week. Mr. Trill says Myles is the Shaq of football. Topo says Bull Logic, Prefer apparently is a great coach because he was in place during the playoff win. That's a terrible take. A bunch of these just skipped. Hold on.
Prefer's a bum, but I'm just stating a fact. Kevin Stefanski wasn't there.
Jordan Ernst
coached
said,
that
will any
game.
of you guys be in Vegas? I'm going. Would love to meet you guys.
I know a lot of fans that are going to
I'm not
Vegas
going.
because it's Vegas.
This is great. Like, people, Tyvis said on my podcast the other day, yeah, I think he's going to play in Vegas. And people just was like, oh, no, I'll be there. I said, what kind of checking and savings?
Hey, I keep checking the
Well, it's
prices on that
Vegas.
StubHub game that I bought, the Titans. I got 2 tickets. I'm waiting for the prices.
Yeah, you got a lot riding on
you
this.
got a
You got riding on the next 2 weeks.
next 2 weeks,
Is
boy.
it cheap to fly to Vegas?
Very cheap.
Not last minute.
Yeah, no. If everybody planned it when the schedule came out, the friends that I have that are
Yeah.
going, the second the schedule comes out, they
I mean, most of the games in LA are road games. They're full of.
Yes.
They're home games for the road
In
team.
Vegas.
and the same thing with Vegas. It's the same thing.
The games in the Raiders' home games are home games for the
Yes, they
visiting
are.
team.
Yeah.
A lot of those teams
Pittsburgh,
travel.
first of all, especially late in the year, let's go to a warmer climate.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We got one more. We're going to talk Cavs in overtime. It'll be a public overtime. We're going to talk Cavs because we didn't get any Cavs in here, so we'll be a public overtime.
I'd
Last
rather
super
talk
chat.
about the running man, Mike.
Jordan Ernst, do you all agree we should use our 2 first-round picks next year on a receiver and a lineman, or should we take a quarterback?
That's just a silly question.
Let's just wait and see what the
You
class
can't-
looks
you
like.
can't-
We don't know.
You can't draft based on position.
No, you got to wait and see what's there.
Yeah.
You draft the best player unless it's close and it's a quarterback. It's a quarterback, the only thing that changes that up.
It's
They're
going
going to
to
draft a quarterback.
It's going to
most
change.
likely.
It's going to change 6 times between now and
Bull,
then.
what's up with